Oh my God! I didn't see the headline. I just saw the picture.
Bro, what could that tweet have been?
Shout out to me. I nailed that.
What could that tweet have been?
Are you ready for
Another edition of KFC Radio on the Barstool Sports Network. I'm as low as I've been in a long time, John.
Yeah?
This one hurt a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a whistle pig kind of day. This one sucks. This is a new pain that I think you can help me with.
Okay, let's go.
In the past, I think that as a Mets fan, we've been using the word collapse and choke the complete wrong way for like decades. When people like the Mets choked, the Mets collapsed, almost every time the Mets were not that good and were like the team who just got hot, or the team that was injured and like, you know, still were kind of holding it together but then got bounced. And so when they like blow a lead or lose in the end, it was like, oh, they choked, it collapsed. It's like, well, if you look at that roster, or you look at those injuries, like, not really. It's
it's like LeBron's Cavaliers.
Yes.
Like you lost in the finals, but you weren't supposed to be there.
Like when the Mets were 7 up with 17 to go against the Phillies, it felt like a collapse because we thought we were the better team. And then if you look at the next 6 years after that, the Phillies were like an unstoppable juggernaut who won the division every year. It was just the beginning of Jimmy Rollins, Ryan Howard, Shane Victorino, Jason Worth, well, you know. So, but this is the first time. This is a choke. It's not a collapse. This one is a choke. This is you had all the players. Max and Jake, I think. Max, I think, is banged up and not saying it. Jake didn't have his best stuff, but he's still just such a fucking gamer. And we won't talk too much sports here because I know we don't go into all that. But from just
this isn't sports.
Yeah, this is life.
This is
and
mental
let me tell
health.
You something. This is mental health, and this team. I mean, I was gutted last night, and I've never really reacted like that. I was like really sad, and I realized I didn't realize.
I was really sad. I was surprised how sad I was.
Well, it's probably because you lost all your money.
No, it wasn't. It was honestly, it wasn't money. I don't give a shit. It was you. It was. I felt bad for you. I felt bad for what you were having to deal with.
I think I realized, and this might be some sort of stretch. But in my mind, I made this connection last night. I was like, the Mets are just like I am. Like, the Mets have this reputation that they can't shake. And they're just it's always negativity and jokes. And it's always like the LOL and the butt of the joke. And
LOL Mets is so annoying because it's so stupid, but it's also pretty accurate.
Yep.
So it's like, God, it's like when you get insulted by a child.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck, that was really accurate.
Right, yeah.
But it wasn't clever, and it was just poignent. That's all.
So basic and
Right.
stupid. And then
I don't know why I said get insulted by a child. Like, it happens to me regularly.
You go to the park and kids just tear you down. But I just kept thinking, and I didn't realize this at the time, but like all season long, when people were making the same old comments and jokes, it was like, no, you're wrong, and they're proving you wrong every fucking time. Those guys were wrong for like 6 straight months, 4 nights a week, all the time. And then in the end, you realize you can't fix it, and they're going to keep doing it forever, and no one's ever going to change their opinion, and it is what it is. And I somehow like connected it all to everything in my life and was just like I was like, baseball is life. It's long and it's hard and it's stupid and it's very hard to be good at. But even if you do and you get a lot of money and you start to do things right and you get the best people or the best job or the best relationship or the best house or whatever, it still doesn't guarantee you shit, and things can go horribly wrong and you'll still just be terribly sad, and you got to just keep going out there and doing it. Right? That's fucking life.
Dude, first of all, how the fuck am I the one who's going to help you with this? Like this whole thing was started with like, by the way, this is perfect for you, John. That's fucked up, dude.
Originally, when if I was gonna keep it just sports, I was gonna say this is the first time we had the best team, not the best team, but the better team, and one of the best teams, and lost. That's where I think you can relate to.
Yes,
yeah. And you've always said that it's you know what. I guess I owe you an apology because I'm not sure. I'm not ready to relinquish this just yet. But I always said, no, it's not worse. This is different. I don't know if it's worse.
It's very different.
It's different.
Because I had it the other day. I got lucky where I had to do Bailey Zappi. And I was like, oh, this is awesome having like a team where you're just trying to play my house money.
Yes. But the Mets would always be good enough. They were never the Mets were never like, it's house money. It was like, in 2006, they were like the best team. But they had some injuries, but people didn't really care about those injuries. It was just like, you still should beat the Cardinals. They only won a few games. In 2015, they basically won every single game. They were leading every single game all the time, and then they blew it. Like it was never just like.
I can't believe that was 2015.
Dude, that's so long. I can't believe I can't believe it's 2015. I can't believe how long ago 2015.
Yeah, right.
That's it's when like 2015 used to mean like a couple years ago. A couple years ago, 2015. No, it's like we're pushing like a decade ago.
Yeah. That's crazy, dude. That's how long we've been in New York.
And I'll tell you how bad it is. I knew it was real bad when I pulled out my Mets 1986 sweater. And I pulled that out for the playoffs. And the last time I wore it was, well, technically 2016, but that doesn't really count. And so I put it on, and I was like, whoop.
Doesn't fit.
Don't fit in this anymore. It's a knit sweater from the year 1986, medium.
Yeah.
It's 2022. Your boy's rocking double XL boxers. He gonna fit in a 1980s medium. So that was depressing. But yeah, there's a different type of hurt with when you're the team that should win and didn't. There's a different type of hurt when you do the job that we do, and it becomes this personal and professional like rivalry for 6 straight months. And
it was very bizarre to not see everyone rowing the boat together. That's very peculiar.
That's where the
very
Mets
strange.
Are so different. Like I understand that there are the problem with like I've always said the difference maker, the X factor in New York is that you're not the only team. So when the Boston teams are all bad, you're all down.
Yeah.
And then when they're good, you're all up. In the Mets world, when you are winning, there's still half the team that half the city that clowns you and fights you. So even in the good times, in the good times, you're still like, and then I can sort of understand that there are fans who are like, the Mets will still let us down in the end. If you said like, man, this team is great, but I think in the end they're gonna fucking disappoint us because they always do, I would say that person's right. When it's the Mets fans who all year long who made 800 predictions declaring them dead 800 times and the 801st was correct and they were wrong the other 800 times and they're like, I was right, I told you so.
That's gotta be very frustrating. As an outside observer, it's quite frustrating for me.
And I saw a bunch of people who are like, you're a coward, you were wrong, why don't you admit it? I came in here and I started watching the game.
I saw that.
I was just like, this team means too much to me. That franchise means too much to me, and this team specifically. I spent so much time of my life that I'm also just physically not going to sit there and let someone scream in my ear while I'm trying to watch this game. Like I did. I'm never doing the streams like we did it on Friday night. Like I got assholes talking about Kansas State, Iowa State, like in the over, and I was
that was insane.
My life's on the line. I don't give a fuck how much you lost. Like shut the fuck up about this. So I'm never doing a stream like that again with football. And I know that there are some people who love the shtick with Frank. I can't watch a grown man have a chew toy screaming. It's funny the first time. It's not that funny the 5 millionth time. And it's definitely not funny when you're the one trying to watch like the game.
That is, I've actually learned that through like my sports life, that like when you put your life on the line for something like that, like I did it with David Price.
Tuukka Rask, yeah.
Like that is even more intense than like that's big.
And that's where, you don't understand what it means for me when it's like for the last 6 months, my job has basically been, it'd be like if you were at work and you were telling management, we got to do things this way. And they were saying, no, we got to go this way. And you were doing it your way and it was working and you were proving them right and proving them wrong. And then at the end that it all falls apart. It would be like, the last year of my life like is fucked, and the bad guy won. Like he was right, you know. And it's like, it's tough for any fan, but it is fucking crippling. And of course, this is all just like coinciding where Dave decides to start doing the rundown again. Like, I'm pretty sure he'll stop after this. Yeah. So that sucks. And it's like I was so mad at people on the stream, the guys, the rookies who were just taking the bait every time. From like when Dave Portnoy is doing his little snicker, you can see his face change. He goes, Frank was right? And then I had people going, no, he's not. And I'm like, just look at his face and look at what he's saying. You know he's trolling you. Like, don't take the bait. Don't take the bait. And it's funny watching because even Rico was like, "Don't take the bait, don't take the bait." And then like in the sixth inning,
Rico's yelling it.
Yeah, but then like in the sixth inning, Rico's like, "He's not right because it's like and I get it because everybody reaches their breaking point, and it takes a true man. I don't know if there's any man on earth. It's like Lord of the Rings shit. Like there's no man that can resist this.
There was a moment on Saturday. It was like right after you guys got a home run where Clemmer and Rico started going at each other, and you went full dad. You're like, what, you guys got shit now? Just shut up and watch the game.
I didn't know that was a thing. I thought we just had to worry about Frank. Now you two are fighting? Like, fuck all these guys. There was one moment. This was my favorite moment. It was just blatantly mean but super enjoyable.
Was it the one I sent you?
Yes. That was before all the Adriana stuff? How far back is that?
I got it.
Paz was like, this is just very funny. And it was me.
Was it you in the moment at the end of the game?
I got it right here.
Wait, pause. It was, in his defense, like, Darren Ruff should have been on third. A man should have gone from first to third, right? So, and he absolutely should have. But it was right after we just scored a run on, like, a RBI hit, and this is Frank.
Darren Ruff is slower than fucking Vogelback.
Dude, shut your fucking mouth.
And he did. That was funny. He went like this, and then it was like being able to talk to your son
I
that
didn't
way.
see the shirt. The shirt's great.
Oh yeah, no, I went on. That game was awesome. That was like my moment of glory. We won. We hit home runs. Frank was wrong. He, is a fucking idiot. Now, what was really funny, I tried to explain the context to my mom. First, I got a text from my sister because a lot of these clips started going around, and she said, "Is there something wrong with that guy?" And I said, "Oh yes." And she was like, "No, but really," and I was like, "No, but really."
No, he wears a Joe toy.
I mean, he's a grown man who buys packs of soft Legos in bulk. He was like, I had the 6-pack because I couldn't get the 12-pack.
I didn't know that.
So
wait, so those are Legos?
They're soft Legos.
Oh, I thought it was an actual true toy.
Well, for him it is. Actually, I shouldn't say
the
that. I don't know
target
if they're
demo
Legos.
for
Maybe
the-
they look like Legos. Maybe, yeah, whatever they are. So I finally explained the dynamic to Mama Clance, and she was like, "I'll go on the stream. I'll go." And I was like, "No, you will not." I was like, "I will not subject you to those animals." And she was like, "I'll do it." And I was like, no, because it's one of those things you can't win. Like, the guys are trolling, and if you fight back, you look stupid, and you just have to keep doing it because he doesn't stop. And she was like, "I don't care, I won't stop." And I was like,
Did we finally meet Frank's foe?
well, so then I said the real problem is Frank is allowed to say and do whatever he wants, and it's funny. And then if you retort with something that's too mean or harsh, all of a sudden you're making fun of a guy who has like issues or something. So I explained that to her, and she was like, "I don't give a fuck." And she started to say some things that I can't even repeat on here. Maybe I'll say it at the live show, New York Carolines, if you really want the full story. I might get my mom to say it on like camera, and I'll play it at the live show at Carolines. So there's your incentive to buy tickets. Go to the KFC Radio social media. We have our show on October 19th at home turf, Carolines. We're going to pack the place out, and you'll get to hear what my mom said about Frank. Because she said some things, and I was like, see? I was like, the whole family will be canceled if you go on the stream. Like, you're going to say some things that are not acceptable in 2022. So, yeah, I couldn't do it. I can't do it. And it's hard because when I've gotten to the point at Barstool where you know your role, like
Yeah.
you know. I remember once I have a friend of mine who's got a big Italian family. There's 4 brothers and a sister, and I went to his family dinner once, and they were
Sunday supper?
It was basically like a Sunday supper, yeah. And I think we were in college maybe, so it was like, why don't you guys come home for like a home cooked meal? And it was it was a big deal. They're doing probably like 1 million courses, and all of my friend and all his brothers were just telling their sister what to do. Like get us, not in like a really mean way, but kind of a too rude of a way. Like, get me the this, get me the that, pass the sauce, where are the meatballs? You didn't put the pasta out, whatever. It was a little bit harsh. And so I was like, in my family, like the women, don't, that's not how it goes. So I was like, damn girl, like you kind of like let them talk to you like this? And as she's reaching over and grabbing a plate and putting them down, she goes, I know my role here. Like, I get it. And not in like I know my role as a woman sort of thing. She was just like, I know my place. I'm the youngest and I'm the one girl out of all these guys. It's dinner time. They're talking about sports and shit. I'll go get the plate of meatballs, and so I know my role here. I get it. It's, people like to see my misery. That's why I did I came in here and I did the stream with Castellani and Clem. And if you tune into Barstool streams for like the circus, you go watch Frank. Me and Clem and Chris had like a baseball heart to heart. Like we were able to even speak. You can't talk on the stream with Frank. It's like gibberish.
Yeah.
So, but I was like, I know people want to see this. So like, I tweeted it out. I said, I'm gonna just sit here for the final out so you can watch and get your kicks. Like I know you love that one face that I make and all that shit. I just know what. You're basically an actor almost at one point. You're not acting, but you are. You're filling. This is like your character. So like I'm gonna do the rundown and whatever. But it's like the feeling of like maybe one day getting to break that character and like the guy who always loses gets on top was like. That's why some people were like, oh, now I remember like in 2015 you were so obnoxious when you started to win. I was like, yeah, man. Yeah. And if we ever really win it or like I get to the World Series with a team I know is going to win, like it's going to be 100 times worse because my whole fucking life, even when they're good, has been Yankee fans or idiots like Frank being obnoxious and being rude and telling me I'm wrong and knocking me down. So I'm going to make the whole world suck my dick when it happens. There will be no gracious, like, I'm just happy we won. There will be no sportsmanship. There will be no maturity. I will be like a 12-year-old who thinks he's the hottest shit in the world. And I will be so obnoxious you'll never want to watch anything I do again, and I can't wait for it. Like I'll lose all my fans if I have to if that's what I got to do to enjoy that moment, because I can't. Maybe can you? I want to hear what your point of view is. I think, and this might be a little main character syndrome as they call it, but I think that there are probably like a handful of teams that the world hates on because they're good. So the Yankees, Red Sox, Astros, Dodgers. It's kind of about it, right? Like these are the teams, the Cardinals.
Cards, yeah.
Like these are the class franchises that are always in it and spend a lot of money, and they have a lot of fans that are on the bandwagon, a lot of obnoxious fans. So people relish them losing. And then I would say like right after that, at the top of that second tier, for teams that people love to watch lose and make fun of, is the Mets.
I would say definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
And maybe you put them
I was
in
going to say they might be in the top tier.
they might be in that class while never winning.
Right.
Like God bless the Mariners, they're America's team, as Jared calls them. Like I'm pulling for them so hard now. Why do the Mets never have that like, wow, the guys who always stink are finally putting it together. Let's pull for them. And I don't know if it's a New York thing. I don't know if it's a money thing, like they have a lot of money, so they just should be good. So this is not like a Cinderella story, or if a bunch of people from the Midwest just hate loud, obnoxious New Yorkers like myself, or if
I'm
it's
gonna
the
guess
fact
it's that one.
You think, yeah. But I've never. I guess it's not a personal. I mean, I definitely have made fun of like Midwesterners at points, but like, but it's like when it comes to baseball, like. I think it is just more of like a societal thing where it's just like. fuck New York. They're like East Coast elites. But we're, as a baseball team, we're not. We're like the bums, you know? But we just get lumped in with like, we fucking hate you guys.
I don't know if it's all Midwesterners like shitting on you guys though. Like I feel like it's mainly East Coast people. Like and especially now it's really
like
loud because it's all the fucking stoolies trying to get Dave to suck their dick.
Well, and what's going on right now is this trolling / faking shtick. I want to get attention from Dave. I want someone to retweet me. Like it's like, you know, it's like the baseball world with the Mets is like one giant comment section that wants to get upvotes and shit like that. So there's a lot of that going on. But like, you know, if the Mets win, the story will not be like one of like everybody was pulling for the underdog Mets to finally exercise the demons and like the grandmas that were almost going to go a lifetime without
Right, the
winning.
now I can die in peace crowd.
Right. There will be people who are like, fuck, the Mets won.
Yeah.
And I guess I kind of understand like that we're loudmouth New Yorkers, but I don't really. Like, do you think that's what it is? It's just like we don't like you because you're from New York?
I mean, what else? What other reason could there be?
Because we're not like a band. There are fans that jump the bandwagon when they start to get good, but like we are there every year. Mm-hmm. We are one of the most like diehard and informed. We're not like phony fans. The players are all likable. Like it's not like, you know, when the Yankees had a bunch of roid monkeys and fucking you know, hateable guys, Gary Sheffields and shit like that. Like these are all really likable guys. I can understand people hating Frank. I can understand people hating me once I'm winning, but I'm doing that in response to you fucking assholes treating me a certain way.
Yeah.
So I guess it's like a vicious cycle that never ends. But it's just weird. It's like we're the most hated but the worst. That's a weird combo, you know?
Yeah.
We're the most hated.
Really
but
can't get a win at any point.
Yeah, so the team guts us, and then the rest of the fans.
I was telling
gut
you
us.
last night, it's the most unrewarding thing in life,
Yeah.
is being a Mets fan, because everybody hates you, and you also have nothing. You win nothing.
Pavs is dead body today.
I feel nothing. I feel nothing. I ruined so many friendships last night. I cried.
Yeah, I cried.
I cried like.
cried.
And
You cried?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I went to the game on Saturday with my dad. It was maybe the best night of my life, just to be followed up by one of the worst nights of my life.
Yep.
And I don't know. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, no, because it's also like Jacob deGrom is like this. He's a baseball player, right? But he's not. He's like this thing that has been in our lives through the last decade, and like he's maybe or probably won't be, And his music is Simple Man by Leonard Skinner.
Yeah.
And it's a very like you listen to the lyrics like all about life advice and growing up and coming of age. And I was like listening to Simple Man being like, oh wait, like he's probably never gonna come back again, and we didn't get it done for him. And
You think
again,
he's not coming back?
I think there's a 50-50 shot.
Really?
I think
I feel like Cohen's got to throw the bag.
I
at
think
him.
Cohen will throw the bag at him. I just don't know if I think Jacob deGrom's kind of a weird dude who like. I think almost like, what, if you don't, I think Jacob deGrom thinks of like the Mets as like the old Mets. Like the new Mets is kind of new,
Yeah.
When he closes his eyes and thinks of the Mets, he probably thinks of the Wilpons and getting no run support and they never went out and got any bats to surround him and those aces. And he's probably like, kind of like, fuck this place, you know? And the new guys are probably like, it won't be like that, it won't be like that. And he might be like, you know what, you're right, but I'm just,
I'm over it.
I'm over. I'm going somewhere else, I think that could happen. I also think there's every chance that he's just like, okay, you paid me, I'm good. But like, again, I'm going through this like introspective life baseball thing where I was like, that's part of it too, where it's just like, it's this guy who deserves better and didn't get it, and like we missed the chance, and I was just fucking waterworks. This is preposterous. Then I had this moment where I'm crying but laughing. I'm like, this is so fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's the best.
Yeah. Like I know it's silly.
Were you in the office? Or
No.
home?
I held it together. I could not cry fucking on camera. Are you kidding me? But it's like sports becomes not sports. I don't know. It becomes life, especially baseball. Every fucking night becomes like who you are. And it was like I just had these little victories every summer, all day, all the summer. You know what I mean? Like shit was going bad in life, but like the Mets came back and won it, so we were happy. And it just kept going until it fucking didn't. And now it's like, now what? Now I just have nothing, and my life still sucks, and don't even have that. So it's the most crushed I've ever been. I started writing a blog that I think will be one of my fucking salvos where it's like a jillion words long. I don't even think people will read, but I got to get it out. I got to get all this out. This is like poison right now. So we'll also get through the podcast and do some fun shit now. We got a lot to talk about. It's brought to you by Game Time. If you want to go see your team, if they're still in the playoffs, Game Time is the best way to get those tickets. We've got, what was that?
What was that?
That's for after that. I did not mean to pull that up, but wait.
Okay.
You want to do the ad read? Or
Yeah, ad read first. Pavs just put up something on the big screen, and I was like, hang on a second. But if you're going to watch any of the teams in baseball still in it, you can go to Game Time. If you're going to watch some NHL or NBA as things start to cook up there, you can go to Game Time. You want to go to see a concert or a comedian, any live entertainment, you go to Game Time. They are the ticketing app that makes it easier to score tickets. It's the perfect, like, on a whim, just go, like, hey, you want to go to the game? Let's do it. And you hop on the app and you find these cheap tickets, and then all of a sudden a regular night turns into like a classic night. And so Game Time is not just an app to get tickets. It's an app of spontaneity. It's an app to spice up your life. And once you realize how much money you're going to save and the sort of opportunities you're going to get and the chances you're going to get to go see great live entertainment, you're going to go through Game Time forever. So download the Game Time app. Go to the account tab, create a login, and use code KFC for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Game Time. Last-minute tickets, lowest priced, guaranteed. All right, so we got today Maddy Smith is on the show. Maddy Smith is one of the funniest people.
So goddamn
She's
funny,
one of the
dude.
funniest people alive right now and one of the most likable and just someone who just, I think, knows, like, she just knows who she is and who she isn't and just fucking loves it and does it right. So she's on the show. You might have seen her on Wild 'N Out. She's been on that for like 7 seasons. She has her own stand-up, couple podcasts. So she's on the show today. Very, very enjoyable. So we'll get to that. We got to do voicemails, of course. But before we get into that, you were flying this weekend.
Yes.
You kind of got stuck in a situation that I'm familiar with where you said yes to a wedding that you realized was in Jacksonville too late, right?
It was no.
You
I
knew-
always
or you didn't
knew
know
it.
how far
I
away it was from the
didn't
airport.
know. I knew it was in Georgia. I didn't know that like I had to land and then drive 2 hours.
Right.
I thought I could like fly into town.
Yeah. So day of when you find out.
By the way, what do you think a Lyft was? Remember we talked about this?
Yeah, we thought it was gonna be like $500. That makes me think it was like down south prices. It was like $60 or
Bro, it was
something.
$98.
Bro, it cost you $98 to get a fucking car from here to
It
Grand
cost
Central.
$15 to get me from my apartment
Bro,
to here.
in the rain from here to Grand Central would be $100.
Yeah.
I paid 150 once to get home from Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, I am getting
It's like
sick
6
of living
miles.
here. When I hear things like that, it's like it used to be, but yeah, you have to like live in Georgia and you can't make any money or have a life there. And now it's like, no, I can be like the CEO of a fucking New York company and live in Georgia.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't fucking matter anymore. God damn it. This godforsaken place. So you were trying to travel down there, but following the delays, the flight delays, I was like, as a man who has watched this guy get kicked off planes for being too drunk, this does not bode well. I wanted to be like,
I actually was like, because I knew I had a gut feeling the second it got delayed. I was like, this is gonna be a long one.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's
pace yourself.
Let's be easy
I wanted
here.
to almost get on the phone with Delta and just be like, you don't know what you're doing right now. Like, if there's any chance, like if it's like a 50-50, let's just delay it a little more to be safe. No. Do it. You're about to have a menace on your hands. You're about to be a problem. You want to have a fucking a 6'1", 220 bobblehead on your hands? If you don't, fly the plane. Fly the fucking plane. Get out the duct tape or whatever and fly the fucking plane.
Dude, it was a lot. You know, it was a lot of delays. And actually, the funny thing was too, I also forgot I was like a Delta Sky Lounge member.
Oh God, so you could have been in there the whole
So
time?
I was at a bar for like, I spent like $300 at a bar, and then someone tweeted me being like, "Dude, why aren't you in the Sky Lounge? Like, you should be in the Sky Lounge." I was like, "Fuck, that's right. I can go."
That's not free, is it?
No, it'd be like I have an
just more
American
comfortable
Express,
and
so
shit.
like it is.
Oh,
like,
okay,
if it's
yeah,
American
yeah.
Express, it's free.
Oh wow, you could have drank for free and all that.
Yeah, so I mean, don't get me wrong. I got there and I still took care of it. I still made my $600 for an American Express. I made that nut this year. Like, we're good.
Man, were you hammered?
No, I wasn't that bad getting there. The weekend as a whole was a drunk weekend. I am very hungover right now.
Yeah.
But the craziest thing that happened the whole weekend was coming home. So
Craziest thing you can talk about. Again, come to Caroline's.
Coming home, I flew first class because
Hey,
it's I don't know, it's Jacksonville. It's not, it's cheap. Also, we do okay. Like I don't think it's a secret anymore.
Sick of that.
But it was like Comfort Plus. Like it wasn't really first class. And the dude I was sitting next to, I got on the plane first, and then the dude I was sitting next to walks on with his girlfriend. And he goes, all right, I'll catch you later. And you're just like, I guess I'll see you later. And then
What
she
a
walked
move.
back to coach. And he sat next to me.
Was it like far too? Was it like she's
I didn't see
row
how far back she
28?
went, but it was
bro? That is
like you're a madman to fucking just send
Well,
your girlfriend back to coach.
No, you know what though? Yes, you're either a madman who's like trying to sabotage the relationship, maybe, or you're one of these guys. There are still some relationships out there that are just it's pun intended, madmen.
Yeah.
Like you're either a madman or it's madmen, one or the other. Because there are just still some guys out there who their girlfriends are like, okay, yes, I'm sorry. Like you're stronger than me. I'll listen to you. Like, and I don't know who they are or how they achieve that. Because I'd be like, I've had first class that I've given up to another person. I'm like, we'll go sit and coach together. And that was more like that
Was it a soldier?
I don't know who it was.
I make sure I keep my head down just in case a soldier comes on.
That's tough. That is tough.
Like, I don't see you, bro.
I mean, I
Have
do,
fun next to the bathroom, dude.
I do that on the train with old ladies sometimes. I'm like, it's been a fucking. My day's been longer than yours.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's a capitalism thing. Whatever, you paid for it, but
Also, it is just insane that soldiers just fly to war.
yeah.
like,
that
you think we
is-
could give them a?
It's like I have a connecting flight to war today.
Are we gonna be delayed? Because I'm gonna miss my flight to war. That is. Imagine that you're on the phone, like, hey, like Sergeant, not gonna make it for the war.
There's the windshield. There's a windshield issue.
There's something with there's too many birds in the air or something, so you're gonna need to send someone else to war instead of me. You know that battle that you were banking on me for? I'm not gonna make it.
I'm not gonna be there for that one.
You're gonna miss the rehearsal dinner. I'm missing the war. Brutal. That is though that's one of those moves that's like that you got to do the cost
Cost-benefit analysis.
You know, is the comfort of sitting in first class worth the like you left me in coach? And here's the thing:
If you can only afford to buy one first class seat, if
then-
you're
and
in a
you're traveling with
relationship,
two people,
you
shouldn't
don't
buy-
fly first class.
You can't afford it.
Right.
If you can only afford one, you can't afford it because you know that she's gonna also go back there and she's not gonna be able to get her bag in the overhead.
Yeah.
And she needed a man to help her to do that. And there's going to be an issue with the flight attendant that she needed someone to back her up on. And there's going to be something. There's going to be a whole list of other things that I always want to say to them. What did you do before you were dating me? Because all of these things would just still happen to you. You just wouldn't have someone to complain to it about. You would have just figured out a way to get the fucking bag up, or you would have asked someone else, or you would have yelled at that flight attendant yourself, or whatever. But sometimes I just hear these things, you know. I remember once a girlfriend called
It's
me
like
up.
the parking is always one. Where do I park?
I was
I
just
don't-
going to say that.
No way,
I
really?
got a phone call from a girlfriend once being like, I can't parallel park in the spot and there's no other spots. And I wanted to be like,
I've had some blowout fights about parallel parking.
I want to just be like, okay, here's what you do.
Like some fucking relationship enders.
Yeah,
Where
man.
I'm like, why don't you just learn how to do it?
Or like, fine, you don't know how to do it, but then recognize that calling me is not going to teach you how to do it. What are you going to talk you through it?
Oh.
cut the wheel and then go 45 degrees and like, why
Dude,
are you calling me?
I've had it before where I pointed out a parking spot and I was like, oh, there's a spot. And she's like, no.
No, that's not it.
And I was like, no, that's a spot right there. She's like, well, not for me, it isn't. I was like, well, it's a fucking parking spot, so why don't you park in it? And she's like, I won't park
can't
there.
do that.
I refuse to park there. And then we had to get in a big fight where made a whole scene in the middle of the street where we switched seats and I had to do it. But even more so than the parallel parking, it's just like when I had a lot when I lived in Boston, where like I'd have girls come over and they would just call me like, where do I park? I'm like, I don't fucking
Pretend,
know. Like,
pretend that you have to like park and get like
right.
pretend
Just
there's
like, I
no
don't
one
know,
around.
a garage or look for a spot. Like, I don't know. Like,
Seriously,
we live
And
in a
it's
city. I
different
don't
if
have.
you call up being like, "Hey, what's the parking situation? Do you do street parking? Do you do garages?" But to be like, "I'm here. What now?" Like, just pretend that I'm not here. What would you do? Let's do make believe.
Jackie's
Ready?
laughing a lot.
Let's do make believe.
Jackie's
You
like,
pretend
I
you're an
do
adult.
all of these things.
Have you done some of this?
No.
No?
I'm a good parallel parker.
I don't. I
It's
doubt
one
that.
thing that
We
I
do-
can do. I can't do
Oh,
anything
I was gonna
else
say
that
we
I
don't
can.
let you drive.
Well, I can't drive, but I can parallel park.
Wait, have we said this on the show yet? Oh, we said it on the live show. We described Jackie's driving. Did we talk about it on the podcast?
I don't think so.
Jackie's line. Were you here for this? Do you know this one yet?
No.
Jackie said, because we were like, here's why Jackie is such a fucking dick. Jackie is one of the worst passenger drivers, and I know that you guys all think that I drive aggressive and shit, but Jackie is the worst. If you move the car, anything that's like not like the smoothest, like gentlest thing, she's like, you're the worst driver ever.
That's so dramatic.
No, you're so dramatic. You
Jackie,
say
no. What I appreciate, because Jackie voices things I just shut the fuck up about, and I like that.
But-
and Jackie be in the back of the car like, ugh.
No, it's just like when I get queasy because you jerk around so much.
But
Yes.
like when you look at the situation at hand, it's not like we're not on the open road fucking driving. We're gonna be in Manhattan for an hour and a half if I don't get into this fucking tunnel soon. So I gotta cut off a couple Ubers and a couple cabs and maybe run over an old lady.
Yeah, well,
Because we gotta get the fuck out of Manhattan.
Okay.
So
okay.
then also you can only do that if you are a good driver. And Jackie gets behind the wheel and absolutely, admittedly, sucks. And she says,
No, it's like those who don't do TV.
we were talking about driving down to Maryland, to DC, and we always had this issue. Nick doesn't have a license. Who's not 25? I got to get the car in my name, but I'm driving my own car. So what do we do? And Pavs will be like, no, like Jackie can't drive. Like no, like it's not safe. This is not like
Are you that bad?
who can and who couldn't. Well, and so that's what I said. That's what I said. And then Jackie says, if you're in the car with me, I won't look at the other cars on the road. You have to tell me to look out for other cars. Because if I'm in the car, I'm not worrying about driving. I'm worrying about you being shotgun. So she said, if you drive with me, you have to be my eyes. And I said it was like when you did Demolition Derby with Hank.
Yeah.
Where you had a blindfold on. One person, the driver had a blindfold, and the other person had to direct you. And Hank
Kept pointing.
Yeah, he would point.
Dan
He
was
went,
like, stop pointing. Just tell me. I can't see.
say left, say right. Jackie will just be like about to get hit by a car till the shotgun has to say like, get out of the way. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll turn. Thanks for telling me. That's insane.
But I'm a good driver by myself. But it's just like it's
I-
other people
I
in the
actually-
car.
So what if we all sat in the back seat?
No, I can't be like this is with everything. Like I can't study in the library because there are other people around me.
I get that.
That I
get
understand.
that,
I even
yeah.
understand from a driving point of view. When I'm in a car with like my mom, I know she wants me to be like 10 and 2 and drive 55 and all that shit. So I do that for my mom. I don't do it for you guys because I don't fucking care.
10 and 2, dude.
But when I drive that way, I'm more dangerous because I'm like uncomfortable. I'm like I ordinarily would have like gone a little bit faster and been out of the way of this, but now I'm like in it because I'm driving properly, and now you know what I mean. Like for me to be the safest driver I can be, I need to drive my way.
Yeah, the best line I ever heard is my high school baseball coach. We had our right fielder used to catch with two hands, and like I was watching him hit fungos one day, and he just kind of like mumbles to me. He goes, "Catching with two hands is like driving a 10 and 2. If you see someone doing it, they suck."
Yeah, because you need that extra. Yeah, you need to be super focused. But I mean, at least you know it, like you say it about yourself. There's the only thing worse than that are the girls who are like, I can drive, and it's like, no, you fucking can't, you know. And it's always like someone's doing something stupid on the road, and then like you drive past them, and it's a chick like this. It's just a thing. It's just true. Can you drive, Colleen?
Yes.
Yeah.
But when I'm back in Arizona,
Mhm.
I think if I was here,
Can't drive in like,
stressful.
high stress.
Yeah.
Yeah, high anxiety. It's not normal driving here. It's crazy. And having a big car sucks.
It's a nice car though.
Trying to navigate around when you're doing that though is like. I saw a guy the other day with a fucking Lambo, like in the same traffic I'm in. I'm like, what are you doing? I mean, I literally had that fender bender the other day where we're yelling at each other and we just like went our separate ways. Imagine if I had a fucking Lambo where that happened. It's like, Jesus Christ. So,
By the way, I just want to say for the record, I don't have like a bunch of DUIs. I'm just lazy.
yeah, you gotta get a fucking license.
Yeah, I know. Dude, it's a whole thing. I let it expire to the point that I have to go and get a permit. And like with a bunch of 15-year-olds.
Oh, we should do that for content.
Yeah.
You got to do that for content.
Yeah.
Nick learns to drive again.
Because I have to go up to like Saratoga in 2 weeks, and like it's a problem that I don't have a license.
You passed on your first try, right?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
You passed your first try. You? Yep. I failed my first one. I remember.
You did?
Yeah.
Bro, I didn't leave the parking lot. I didn't parallel park. I didn't do anything. I didn't leave the parking lot. I drove. I was
gonna say I had
lot.
never driven before I went to my driver's test. My dad's just like, yeah, he logged all the hours and walked out of there with one, so should be good this time.
We didn't have a parking lot. You just go on the road. Right?
We did. It was like because like the DMV in Fall River is like in like this mill area, and so like I did a lap around a Pub 99, and that was it.
Oh right. I did a. She had me parallel park on a hill, kind of, which was fucked. So. Like I think I had to do like a 3-point turn first, and it was like on a hill, and it's such a way, if you get like a perfect balance where you're going uphill, if it's slightly uphill but you take your foot off the pedal, so you stay still, kind of right, and so it was a way where it was like, wait, I'm taking my foot off the brake, but we're not moving, and so all of a sudden I put like my second foot in. I was like trying to like hold the brake, and I was like, oh, I'm shot. Like, I don't know where my brain went in that moment, but I was like, I just had 2 feet on the pedal. I'm done, dude. And then she tried to tell me at the end, though, she was like, it wasn't that. It was like you rolled the stop sign. And I was like, that might be true. And then I went
all checks out.
Yeah.
This makes sense.
Right. Like I was still was doing it even at 15, trying to get my license. But man, that's crushing when you don't get it. Oh, it sucks. I rescheduled to like go out to Riverhead, Long Island, which is like it's like way out there, right? And I didn't live anywhere close to it because everywhere near me was like you need to wait like 6 more months for an appointment, and I was like a 15-year-old kid like desperate to drive. So my mom was like, all right, we'll just go like all the way out to the end of the world. And we had like this sweet little old lady in like an open like Long Island fucking road. Like the one I was doing was in Mount Vernon. It was like, try to make sure you follow the rules of the road, but also don't get shot at the same time. All right, let's get into some 1 Minute Man topics. We're going to bounce around the world and do some pop culture talk, and then we'll get into voicemails, and then we get Maddy Smith. Today is brought to you by Whistle Pig, 1 Minute Man, Whistle Pig style. Whistle Pig whiskey is probably one of the best things that's ever happened to me.
I would say so. I would agree with that.
Legitimately.
Yeah.
When you think about the idea of being like effectively having like an endorsement deal with a whiskey, getting to go up to their farm. Like I would never have gone to like a Vermont farm probably ever in my life. That's just something I don't know people who do that. I don't know how to do that. I wouldn't think to do it myself. They've invited me up to their farm. I went through the tour. Like I've learned shit about whiskey. I've learned shit about myself. I've traveled. I've enjoyed different drinks and cuisines because of them. We're making money because of them. We are doing like opportunities and events because of them. We're achieving things that I would never in my wildest dreams think of. And Whistle Pig's making it happen. So shout out to them. Their whole operation, from the distillers to the branding people, all of it.
Everyone there is the best person I've ever met.
Yeah, they really are. It's like this little family. I'm like, you're awesome. Yeah. You're all fucking great.
And also the whiskey's the best I ever had too.
For at least it's somehow, huh? Yeah, just a little more. A little more. When you drink the Boss Hog, man, the really good shit, it is like. Yeah. How is this even
God,
possible?
it's so fucking good. It really is so fucking good.
My dad the other day found I have some of the piglets around my house. Do you have any of those?
Yeah.
The little ones?
Yep.
Which I think is cool that they call them piglets. Yeah. It's fun branding. My dad found one of those the other day, and I think he had the 10-year. I think he's team 10-year. Because, there's that debate between 10 and 12. Or
no, it's 12 and 15.
Yeah.
So I think he had the 12 then, because he was like,
the 12's the 12 is.
That was the one that I leaned towards 12 too. But then like some of those main distillers were like, no, it's the 15. I'm like, okay.
Right.
Like if Sandy Koufax
Jason-
tells you that this is the better pitch.
Jason
it's
says
like-
a 12.
I know, that's the
12 guy.
thing. It's weird. There's enough people. It's like a LeBron Jordan sort of thing.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
You can't go wrong.
Also, Megan says a 12, and I trust her.
She
Oh,
really.
right, Megan said
Megan
yeah.
is like the head distiller who is like this this chick who's just like so normal, but happens to be a chemical engineer that like makes booze for a living. You know?
I remember when we asked her. I think it was you asked her. Like, so like, did you just like you loved whiskey and decided to make it a living? And she's like, no, I'm a fucking scientist.
Yeah, what are you talking about, asshole? No, I'm talking about the molecules and shit. I don't know. But at the same time, she's also like, I'll just like chug beers and party and shit too. So it's awesome. Like, this was.
We gotta fix this ad read.
Oh yeah, we're still in an ad read.
Let's do like a we pause right now to finish this ad read, and then we'll put this back in. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Get your bottles at shop.whistlepigwhiskey.com or at a local retailer. That went off the rails. Also, I got to do my regular shot of maple syrup, because that's the other thing that Whistle Pig does well is the maple syrup. I would almost say as good, if not better than their whiskey, is their maple syrup.
Let's hang on a second.
No, because think about it. Everybody else who does the fucking fancy maple syrup, it just tastes like you're drinking sap.
Yeah.
And these guys have made a way that it's almost as like tasty as like Aunt Jemima and whatnot, while also still being like the regular natural flavors of I'm not doing it because I can't fucking get the plastic off. So the maple syrup
Let me
is.
help you out there.
I just can't. There's also got to be an open one because there's no way I drank a whole bottle of maple syrup. That would be crazy. Here's one open I got. Imagine if I was just like, over the last 10 episodes, you drank an entire bottle of maple syrup. I wonder how much I could chug, like Super Trooper style. It's not a lot. It's not even close to like a bottle.
You'll get diabetes too.
Yeah. It's so good though.
All right, let me get a hit. I'm gonna do a double hit.
Ooh, we're gonna switch it up.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, the old fashioned maple syrup. The maple old fashioned is the drink, man. It is so quality. Oh yeah, baby, so good.
I mean, that's really nice.
I still actually, can you guys do me a favor? If you like maple old fashions, one of the things I've been pitching to Whistle Pig is almost like a pink.
Oh, that was really good.
A Pink Whitney idea of a pre-mixed. It's not like a mixed drink, but it's a pre-mixed alcohol, the way that they do theirs. If it was in a bottle already, whiskey and maple mixed together. And you could do the orange slice if you wanted and some of the bitters or whatever, but the hard part of having the whiskey and the maple syrup right then and there to do an old-fashioned maple syrup style, if that was already just pre-made in a bottle, would you buy it? We'll do a little consumer research here. I think that's the moneymaker. I think that could be a huge trend, the way that we have a lot of these ready-to-drink things. So let me know about that. And in the meantime, go to shop.whistlepigwhiskey.com or at a local retailer. Why don't you distill whiskey, Jackie? Why aren't you a head chemist? Why don't you do something like that?
I'm not good at science.
No? Not a science girl? What kind of grades did you get in science class?
Well, I never got below a C.
What were your grades like?
They were fine. They were pretty good.
Like what was
Your voice went pretty high for that.
Yeah.
Well, they just
like put it this way, like if,
They were fine.
if I got a C in school, my parents were pissed.
But I
You
didn't
get a
do
lot
that.
of C's?
I actually
I
couldn't even
never
tell
got a
you what
C.
my grades were.
Really?
I have no idea.
I know.
I
can
like I
tell
was
you what my
smart
grades
when
were.
I was younger. I think I tapered off a bit come high school, and then really
Why
fell
don't
off a cliff when I got to
should
college.
we should take some tests. I don't want to do the SATs, but I want to do we should get. If you're a teacher, I want all the teachers to reach out. I want to get a 10th grade math test,
10th
science
grade
test.
math test.
Yeah,
Bro,
a high
I'm gonna get
school.
a 0 on that.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I'm gonna get an absolute 0 on a 10th grade math test.
How about 9th grade?
0.
Like 8th grade, like algebra?
Zero.
You can do algebra.
Nope.
You can't do algebra?
No, dude.
You can't solve for X?
Absolutely not.
Really?
I can definitively tell you, absolutely not.
But you could do an easy one. Like if I said 5 minus X equals 3, what's X?
5 minus x equals 3. 2. Okay. Yeah, no, I got that.
But so if I spice that up a little bit, if I was 15.
If you bring multiplication in or division,
Yeah,
well, I'm out then.
Well, grade. Okay,
10th
tell me-
grade was an insane number to throw out, bro. Give me a 3rd grade.
Do you want to
Because I'll tell you what, I've played that. I lose.
Yeah.
So let's go 3rd.
All right. What about science?
Absolutely not.
None. Yeah. Like I'm trying to think of
Bro, I don't
like
I don't know
chemistry
what
and-
adjectives
and-
are.
and-
Like there's
extra
no.
funny because it has nothing to do with science.
But like I don't know. I was just trying to think. I was like, well, I was good at English, like maybe,
No.
but like, no. What's an adverb? I know what an adjective
I don't
is.
know those either.
Okay, I don't know those.
Adverbs are
They're
action
de-
words that also
Describing-
describe.
Yeah.
Like
I don't.
like quickly.
Just descriptors of verbs.
Descriptors of verbs. So,
Okay.
like, what's an example of one?
Like,
Yeah,
it would-
quickly.
quickly,
Anything with
like-
ly, pretty much.
Yeah,
I
you're
think
doing
is-
something quick. Being quick is like a verb.
Oh, okay.
And you're describing it, right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be bad, dude.
Okay.
I'm happy to do it. I don't have any qualms about showing the world how stupid I am.
So let's leave it to the teachers then. There's got to be some teachers out there who kind of understand our capabilities, and let's take like some relatively short, but tests on history where it's like just how much do you remember.
history, I might be okay at.
Yeah, because that's just like memory, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know?
the lowest form of intelligence.
And if you're a history teacher, you have the same book that you just read every year. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because history doesn't change. And
It is. We've talked about that before. By the way, we're still in the middle of a whistle together.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
We've talked about that before. We're like going to poor schools. Like I just had 20 years where I just didn't learn about anything.
Right.
Right. Like it was like I went to public schools my whole life in a not a great town, and it was like we just stopped at the 70s.
Yeah. Oh my God. The textbooks just ended.
Yeah. It was
I
like,
remember
all right.
being like anything.
That's
about-
all the history. Like,
Yeah, anything about Vietnam? No, nothing. Like I think like the last chapter was like, and then there was Desert Storm. Time.
yeah. Oh,
Yada yada yada.
I
Desert
still have
Storm,
no
see you
idea
later.
what Desert Storm is.
Yeah,
I
Desert
don't
Storm's
have
like
a
early
fucking clue.
'90s, but I
I don't know if
what.
they teach that. They're just like, let's get all the ones where America won, and then like
Yeah.
some of those.
Did we lose Desert Storm?
No.
I think Desert Storm was.
I don't
just
know.
like-
I didn't learn it.
I think Desert
Colin,
Storm.
do you know what we're talking about? Like, I feel like you want to chime in here.
No,
Oh, okay. All
absolutely. I think
right.
Desert
You looked up.
Storm-
I thought you looked up like you fucking idiots.
She's probably thinking it.
Contemplating what an adverb.
I think Desert Storm was one of those. We want a whale, so we're gonna go fight.
yeah.
I don't think there was any reason for that other than like we don't like Saddam Hussein.
Okay. Okay. So that was my. It was in Iraq.
I think it was Iran. Here's another thing. Iran. Like if you say Iran, you're an asshole. It's Iran.
Iran.
Yeah.
And I ran.
The people who are like,
I
if-
ran so far away. You know that song?
Uh,
It's actually Adam Levine. It's an SNL like one of the original shorts,
Uh-huh.
and it's about how he's in love with Hussein, and it's like and that not Hussein because that's not who it is. The president there. Who's the president of Iran?
right now?
Yeah.
No fucking idea.
It's about. It was about No, it was about Gaddafi. No. Yeah, it might have been about Gaddafi.
It's definitely not about Ibrahim Rossi. There's no,
No,
way
it's not
that's
about him.
No.
Who else we got?
Are you
here?
saying Adam Levine has a song about the president of Iran?
It's an SNL. Like he was hosting SNL.
Oh.
So it's an SNL skit.
Was it
But
about,
It's a hot song. And I ran so far away.
I don't know. But these are things that like if you could remember, you would be like, I'm so smart, and it's like, no, you're fucking not. But when everyone's like, if you go out to Iran and Iraq, it's like, fuck you. It's Iran and Iraq.
Yeah. That's who it is. That guy. Yeah.
Ahmadinejad.
Yeah, that
Ahmadinejad.
one.
Yeah, I kind of know that name. Oh yeah. He had a hot moment.
Yeah.
He was involved in something that was like a pop culture moment. I want to say.
Why is that picture there?
Yeah.
I feel like he didn't have good opinions on George Floyd.
I would imagine he did. Yeah, you want to read the headline? Ahmadinejad uses the N-word to tweet
Oh
about
my
George
God!
Floyd.
I didn't see the headline. I just saw the picture.
Bro, what could that tweet have been?
Shout out to me. I nailed that.
What could that tweet have been? Just being like, yeah, that fucking. Oh my God.
God. Nah. Whoa. Look up. Just go. I don't know. I'm gonna shut up.
Oh, at least it was a quote from Tupac, but still.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's
a little better.
He's a hero. I know that quote.
Yeah. Right.
But so was he trying to be like this? This was.
We gotta fix this ad read.
Oh yeah, we're still in an ad read.
Let's do like a we pause right now to finish this ad read, and then we'll put this back in. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bro, that was a 10-minute ad read. You're welcome.
Best in the game. We also might have dropped some very problematic history details in there. So
Yo,
you're welcome, but also I'm sorry.
In the middle of an ad read, I was like, by the way, I haven't heard of Desert Storm.
We're that meme, dude. We always talk about the Domino's meme. It's like starts whistle pig ad. Mahmoud Ahmadinejad
Said the N-word.
tweeting about George Floyd with the N-word. Whoa, crazy. Colleen's like, how do I fucking promote this show? What do I do here? Anyway, to 1 Minute Man, where we're gonna go through today's topics. We begin with some upsetting news, genuinely, truly. Adriana Chechik broke her back this weekend at Twitchcon, which is obviously terrible news, but also, given her history...
I was going to bring that up privately. Yeah. Like, there must have been a little bit of the structural integrity of her spine.
Was compromised.
I feel like it was compromised, yeah.
Yes, she said that her C4 and C5. I actually did 1 Minute Man on it, and I pulled up our clip of talking about it.
Yeah.
And it's my favorite. Again, this is not funny because she has problems, but she said, so I learned that like C4, C5 is cracked, and I know it's because of the pile driver, and also my brain stem is a little bit floating because I have my head so far forward and there's so much pressure on there. Cut to John. Gang shit! It's so fucking... I left it in for 1 minute, man. Gang shit.
Bro, that is the definition of
gangster,
shit.
Dude. Absolute gangster. And she's like, I'm still going to fuck pile driver. So she already had some spinal problems. But despite that, I don't know, man. I think this would break anybody's back. She went to TwitchCon. Because she does porn, but she also does, she streams her video games.
She's like the #1 Twitch streamer for Elden Ring.
I believe it.
By
really
far.
She picked a game that's like pretty good and popular and difficult. She sticks with it. She streams all the time. And she's Adriana Chechik. Like, it's not one of those things where it's just like, I'm hot, you automatically win. It obviously like helps you. But you gotta like play video games. She's like, I'm doing streams all the time. She does fun shit. She gets naked in bowls. She turns her body into a bowling ball. So she's like entertaining on it. So she came to TwitchCon, and it sucks because I looked at her tweets and she was like, I think it was either traffic or a plane got delayed. So she was almost not gonna make it. And she was like, don't worry, I made it. Like she almost probably wasn't gonna be there at all. And she ends up going. They have a foam pit somewhere in the convention center. She used to be a gymnast, or like is still a gymnast. You can tell she does like a toe touch. Her legs go flying. Like she is.
I didn't need to see this video to know that.
To know that, yeah. And she jumps into the foam pit. However, the foam pit turns out to be like one layer of foam blocks deep. Those things are supposed to be 8 feet deep.
Yeah.
And this was like 1 foot deep. So she jumps, touches her toes, and lands right on her butt, and like shattered her spine. Run the clip one more time. I want to see it.
It is.
You also can see her like doing the thing. Like, first of all, it's like crunch.
Oh,
and
God.
then you know that
she fucking wears it though, dude.
That's the thing. You know she's embarrassed and doesn't want to just like cry, but she's like, and she's kind of smiling. And then they're like, "Are you okay?" And she says yes, but then the pain sets in, and they're like, "Are you okay?" And she shakes her head no. And all the while, the girl who's like running the emceeing the event is like, she's fine. She's no stranger to the foam pit. She's good. And then you cut to her tweet the next day.
I actually haven't watched this full clip.
No, it's bad. It's like she's in a lot of pain.
I saw the injury, but
and that guy is just removing one block at a time, being like, "Come here, come here." And it's like, dude, she can't move.
Dude,
look at that, one at a time. And he's like sticking his hand out, and she's like, "I'm paralyzed, you asshole." The other girl was like, I think she hurt herself too, but she's not as bad. And she's looking at Adriana like, oh, fuck. Adriana then tweets out, so I broke my back in 2 places and I needed a metal rod put in. I'm having surgery. I'm telling you, man.
That is.
I don't know what like rules are. I saw a couple Twitter lawyers out there saying negligence like always is like will trump all. That like at the end of the day, you shouldn't be jumping off of platforms or whatever. that's a gross miscarriage of justice if that is the case. She should sue the fuck out of Twitchcon.
Yeah.
If you come up to me and say, hey, like you used to do gymnastics and shit, we've got like a pile of blocks over there, you can jump off it, I'm going to assume that it's like safe enough. It was less than 2 feet.
Less than 2 feet is crazy.
Dude, imagine if you just jumped off this table as high as you could and just landed on your ass. I mean,
I'd break my back.
It would shatter my back,
Yeah,
though. Like
yeah.
I would be like the vertebrae would go like up the ladder, boom, all gone.
I do
dust
love the tweet though. The tweet is
of her
all-time.
saying like,
No. The other guys. What he says, Twitch streamer Adriana Chechik, and it's like that's not how we know her.
Twitch streamer Adriana Chechik.
She, apparently, she's very popular. I'm not a Twitch
She
guy.
certainly is, but it's like, come on.
like, that's like what clothing designer Tom Brady.
Yeah. When in my video, I wanted to be like, Adriana Chechik, known like around the world by random Uber drivers, and pretty much anybody with a dick from this era to this era. I mean, how many people do you think know Adriana Chechik? Like, I think this is one of those things where I bet you it's far less than you think.
Oh yeah.
Like if you
yeah.
poll
no,
the
I'm
office,
a pervert. I know.
Yeah, we're perverts. If you poll the office, Jackie, do you know who she is?
I mean, I knew like she was
Prior?
probably because like I've heard people talk about her like in media. Probably you guys.
Do you know?
I didn't know until.
Until this.
You knew? Pabs is insulted.
Pabs like, yo, me and my boys used to go get fucking rubbing tugs. Like,
By the way, pass me my phone.
Is it Joey?
No, I saw the funniest. Well, I find this to be funny. So I'm walking to work today. Where I park is right outside of the garage. Is one of the most famous of all, the West Garden Spa.
yo,
This is the one.
Yeah.
And they're renovating. The guy is like he was out there spackling and painting.
that's
and,
actually all cum.
and it's there's years of cum, like rows of it, layers on the outside. But like if you didn't know, there's this place called West Garden Spa. It's pretty close to really close to our office, and it is like the one. Like, I know athletes who, like, when they fly into town for a game against the Knicks, they're like, I got to hit up.
Bro, I told you this story one time when I went to the bathroom. This is when I lived here when I was 21.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to the bathroom and I like...
At West Garden?
No. I was at a bar
Okay.
and I went to the bathroom and my friends left and they just left a note. Went to West Garden Spa, be back in a bit. And I was like, all right, guys, I guess I'll just sit here with the Bud Light Tower.
Did they just not want to invite you? Would you?
I don't know why they did. They're my best friends. I don't know why they left without
They would have
me.
been like, John's going to say no, and we want to go. You wouldn't. You wanted to stay, right? You wouldn't have
Yeah, I
gone.
wanted to stay.
Yeah. That's why. They
Yeah.
wanted to get jerked off.
I have an alcohol addiction, not a sex addiction.
Well, I've got both, so I wanted to go. West Garden is a delight, bro. They treat you good, bro. So, but the thought of them like this just means this. So this picture, we'll put it on the YouTube. This guy is spackling over like. It also has like this nice, what appears to be like, I'm sure it's fake, but it looks like a marble like facing front, West Garden written all like fancy, and he's spackling over this shit and painting it blue, and it's just funny to think that there's somebody on the inside looking at the books, like doing like the budget, being like, all right, it's time for our renovations. It's been about 10 years, probably about 100,000 hand jobs. it's like doing like a warranty on a car. 10 years or 100,000 hand jobs. Time to we got to renovate the front. We got to rejuvenate it a little bit. Let's make sure we spice things up. So I'm walking by just laughing at myself, being like, bro, do you know what you're working on right now? I'd be like, you don't have to pay me. Like, no cash. Don't worry. I'll do all this. You take care of it. I get free West Garden for life.
Like the guy who painted the wall at Facebook.
Yes.
No, I'll do equity.
I'll take
thank you.
equity in West Garden, dude. You take equity in West Garden, I bet you make so much money.
Yeah.
Like, I bet those places crush. I mean, I'm sure it's all illegal and whatever, but like, you make bank if you work at one of those joints. So Adriana has broken her neck. I don't think she's spoken out except for that tweet saying she needs the metal rod. But I understand at the end of the day, there's something like when you speak legally, like anybody who, like, it's interesting. David Dobrik's going through that with Jeff Wittick. where he lost his eye on the
Oh, he
the-
lost
the
his
crane.
eye.
Yeah.
I saw that video. I didn't know
Or
he
he
lost
either
his
like
eye.
lost vision or lost the whole eyeball.
Lost the eye.
Lost the eye.
Yikes, dude! I didn't know that.
So he's suing David Dobrik, saying like you were reckless with the controls. David Dobrik is like, you knew the risk going in,
Right.
And I kind of understand both sides of it, where it's like, like if you go swing around on a fucking excavator, the very reason it's going to get a lot of eyeballs, and the reason you're doing it is because it's
dangerous,
reckless and
right.
dangerous. It's jackass type shit. He was saying that like what happened was not on like the spinning, it was when you turned it off. Like I fell into the machinery that way, and like that's why it's your fault, because like you didn't know how to operate it. It's like, no fucking kidding. Nobody here knew the physics of how like you spin around and then you stop. Like no kidding. Of course, David Dobrik doesn't know how to operate a excavator at high speeds. Like this is I don't know where. If I was on that jury, I'd be like I don't know. Like I'd probably have to be like, you put yourself in that position. But at the end of the day, if there is some sort of
I saw
power
what you were wearing.
dynamic,
It's kind of on you.
yeah. It's kind of, I mean, if there's ever a time to victim shame, it's that dude, no?
I like to be very clear that was a joke.
Getting loose today. Right though? Like, I mean, it's like you didn't know how to operate. It's like, I guess the bigger argument would be like, you made me do that. Whether or not you said it, it was like implied that if I don't do these things, I don't like get a paycheck.
Right.
And if that's the truth, then like there's a power struggle that like is fucked up. But the direct action of like, I don't know. Part of me would be like, okay, your boss like treats you poorly. We'll talk about that like in an HR case.
Right.
This is you jumping on a goddamn like mechanical bolt times a billion. Like you knew what you were getting into. So we'll see what happens if Adriana. I mean, I'm making up that she's suing. She hasn't said anything about litigation. I would imagine you would though. We also got a comedian. Her name is Ariel Elias, and she was at the club. She was talking, and she had a heckler who asked her, like totally drunk, interrupts, being like, "I can tell you didn't vote for Trump." And at first she's a little bit rattled. She's like why does it even matter? And roll the clip so John can see it. You haven't seen it yet, right?
No.
You don't. Do you even know what happens?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, there's the fucking headline now.
Yeah.
Donald Trump, what do you think? No. Okay. Here's a question for you. Why would you ask me that in here, knowing I'm the only Jew in this room? Are you trying to get me killed?
Foreshadowing.
If it makes you feel any better, I vote in New York. My vote doesn't matter there. It doesn't matter here either. It doesn't matter, guys. Guys, everybody vote for whoever you want to vote. I don't care who you voted for. I'm just happy we're all here together.
So you voted for Biden?
I don't know. Why does it matter? Yeah. So what? Why does it matter?
I can just tell by your jokes you voted for Biden.
All right. I can tell by the fact that you're still talking when nobody wants you to that you voted for Trump.
That's a good line. So.
Yes. Don't understand yourself.
Alright, make some noise if you want her to shut up.
Most obvious applause.
But I did ask if anybody had any questions. I didn't think it was going to be. That's on me. That was on me for thinking I could have a human interaction with somebody. No, look, I'm such an insecure person. Here, I'll tell you the rest of that bit, and then we'll move on. I'm so insecure. I went and got an IUD.
Oh!
And then, like a true G, just fucking chucks it. Loved it. Great move by her.
She actually broke her sobriety to do that.
What's funny is I've heard the rest of her bit. She started to say, "I'm so insecure that when I go get an IUD." So I watched another one of her sets where she tells the whole joke, and she said that her doctor was like putting it in, and she was like, "It's like a little bit of a different case with you. You have a very, very small canal," and she said she was like, "Stop, like, go on. You don't say. Really? Tell me again. Say it louder." But yeah, I mean, that girl hurled a fucking nooner Rico Bosco style.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's high noon.
yeah.
That was a big boy too. That was like a 24 ouncer.
Oh, that was a big one?
I think so.
Yeah.
That looked. I mean, unless she has extremely tiny hands, that girl. that looked like a tall boy. What a move by her to chug it. But that is like, I'm happy for her because in the beginning I think she was frazzled when she was like, okay, like what's the big deal? Like who cares? So what? And then she hit her stride with the Jew joke and everyone wants you to shut the fuck up, and then the chug afterwards. That's I mean, man, people are just so fucking lame about politics where it's like you're behaving like an animal.
It is.
Like an absolute fucking animal.
fucking nuts. Also, it's like this 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, this is a long time ago.
Seriously.
We're still doing this.
Yeah, like that shit is played out. And finally, we got Kanye West going hammer time on social media with one of just the most outright.
I would have said that before I learned about the other dudes. I forget his name, but the former president of Iran is apparently a little looser than Kanye West is.
Well, I mean, not since like at KFC Barstool in 2010 have there been fucking tweets about the tribe like this one. Kanye West just comes out. Well, first of all, Kanye West rocks the White Lives Matter shirt a couple days earlier.
Which, by the way, shout out Caroline. Tweeted it today and was like, look at my new merch.
White Lives Matter?
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious. That's very funny. A lot of people not happy. A lot of people really upset about that. Can understand why.
I get it.
It's just like, it's like Frank Fleming. It's like, we're trolling and we're going to give into this. This is like the most basic form of trolling for this asshole to be contrarian, and we're gonna like give him credit or whatever, you know. It's like, just get the fuck out of here. So he rocks the White Lives Matter, really pisses off the culture, as they say, his community, and then tweets out a line that, I mean, his publicist and shit must have been like, fuck!
Dude, Kanye's publicist doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Doesn't
Kanye
give
probably
shit about
doesn't
fuck.
have- yeah,
Like,
he
he's
doesn't
like,
have a fuck, yeah.
dude, do your thing. I don't give a fuck.
He goes, he woke up and said, I'm going DEFCON instead of DEFCON. I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. Yeah, here it is. I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. The funny thing is I actually can't be anti-Semitic because black people are actually Jews also. You guys have toyed with me forever and tried to blackball anyone who opposes your agenda. This is just like, he's probably losing his battle with Adidas, and of course there's a couple Jewish lawyers, and he's pissed. What I think is funny is that he said DEFCON, and what I think is really funny is John thought it was DEFCON 2.
I read that without blinking. I was like, yeah, Kanye nailed that.
You did not know? Do you know what it is now?
I know it's a defense.
Yeah, I think it's just DEFCON. Like
yeah.
DEFCON.
But like, I think, yeah. No, what's it mean? I don't know what Desert Storm is, so you had pretty high hopes to think I'd do it with fucking DEFCON, man.
I would think it would mean like defense
defense readiness condition.
Condition. So it's defense condition.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
I mean, I didn't know what it meant, but I knew it was not DEFCON,
DEFCON.
you dumbass.
I do know this. I know that it actually is worse the lower. it is.
That's one that
It's like a
people,
golf score.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. It's and then I do know this. I used to get that mixed up with Michelin stars.
Oh,
I
yeah.
used to then think, 1 star is a better restaurant than 3. That's not correct. Michelin goes up like normal. DEFCON goes down to be better. It's like golf scores. Yeah. So
Michelin, the all-time greatest
DEFCON
marketing
1
campaign.
is like what?
The greatest marketing campaign of all time.
What, DEFCON?
No, Michelin.
stars. The fact that it's from the tires is so bizarre.
Crazy.
Like I would have why would that be the case? I thought it was going to be like a chef named Michelin who like then became
It was
critic.
I can answer this for you. It was they would rank they were trying to get people to use their tires more. So they would,
I know that like the whole idea, but I'm just like,
like drive.
So that is that. So that it was still about tires.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, it wasn't like a Michelin guy was like, I'm also a restaurant connoisseur. It was like, how can we get these motherfuckers to drive far away?
More. And
Let's
it was
tell
like
them that this
3
restaurant
stars is
300
like
miles away
worth an hour drive. 2
Interesting.
stars is worth like a half hour.
Because I was like,
drive,
what do
whatever.
they fucking care? But if you get your tires replaced, there you go.
Yeah.
So Kanye gets with the like quick fast ban. Like usually there's like, you know, Andrew Tate goes for a couple weeks, or Elon Musk, or, you know, whoever's like arguing, like it's like, what do we do here? They finally banned him. This was like bam.
Fast, yeah.
You are done from Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, well, Zuckerberg doesn't play.
Zuckerberg is not going to be happy with that one. And I don't know who's currently at.
As a Feidelberg, Zuckerberg doesn't play.
I saw Sarah Silverman tweeting, being like, "Where is the outrage?" And I thought it was good. Our boy Adam 22 from No Jumper, who was on the show not too long ago. What did Kanye say? Look
How
at
you
this
gonna-
one. How you kick me? Used to be my N-word. That's fucking hilarious, man. This is where it, like, Kanye always, I'm mad and I hate him. I think he's an asshole, and then he always kind of makes me laugh. And I'm
He
like,
is funny. He's a funny guy.
But I don't
Kanye
think,
West is.
But he's not.
This is not the time to be taking this stance.
I think he's unintentionally funny when he does it, though. I don't think he like understands.
I caught myself good there.
Yeah. He said, so Kanye threatened the Jews yesterday on Twitter, and it's not even trending. Why do mostly only Jews speak up against Jewish hate? The silence is so loud. And Adam 22 was like, it's the biggest news online, and he got suspended from both platforms. Like,
What else can you do?
what else can you do besides like throw the guy in fucking jail? Like,
Jeffrey Dahmer went to jail. Where's the outrage? Like, I don't know. He's in jail.
he's in jail. We're done with this, man.
That was like Dante the other day tweeting about how Antonio Brown needs to be canceled. And it was like, dude, he doesn't have a job. No one likes him. He doesn't seem to care.
Right. Did you see that tweet to Brady?
No.
It was a Daddy Doesn't Live Here Anymore book. It's like a children's book about divorce. It's fucked. He tweeted the cup of whiskey emoji. And like,
Never mind. Antonio Brown needs to be canceled.
I mean, that's savage. That's that is really fucking nasty behavior. By the way, that book, Daddy Doesn't Live Here Anymore, look at the cover. This is appalling. I obviously know about this book for obvious reasons, but like, look at that.
Wait, did he Photoshop?
He
Oh
put like
my
Brady on there.
goodness
But the
gracious.
book, I think the book itself like does look like that.
That's really fucked up.
That's
stuff.
fucked.
That's fucked up stuff.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure it's like a regular book, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and that's just like a normal family. Yeah, like that is.
Dude, that actually looks more like Brady there.
Yeah, that looks like Brady, like old Brady. Yeah, and he puts AB in the fucking I mean, that is it's fucking
what a mad
jacked
man.
up. I guess this is a meme. You
Tom
can see
Brady
a
was
lot
like
of guys
the
have done
last
this.
guy to fucking have his back.
But that's what's funny too is that people were like, it's like yes, but like he just wanted to fucking Super Bowl. He doesn't give a shit about Antonio Brown. Like,
I mean, he had the guy live with him. That's above and beyond.
You know what's pretty funny? Maybe that was the last straw. Maybe Giselle was like, we're getting a divorce. You moved Antonio Brown into the house. You said, hey, honey, I got to bring, let's bunk the kids up together. I need my buddy to use one of their bedrooms. Who is it? Antonio Brown. The biggest asshole, most obnoxious motherfucker alive. He went and lived with him.
Meanwhile,
Me,
she's
and
thinking-
AB. That should be the new fucking movie. You, Me, and AB. And it's Tom Brady getting a divorce because Antonio Brown broke up the fucking wedding. I mean, what a fucking asshole.
How many times
that
do you
guy
think she ever made chicken nuggets for Gronk?
Today's voicemails are brought to you by Allbirds. We got the Wool Dasher Mizzle for the fall and the winter. See, Allbirds has you covered for every season, whether it's you want a lightweight, breathable summertime kick, or for the winter, if you get the Wool Dasher Mizzle, keep your foot warm and dry. It's weather repellent. It's you can still run in it. It's not like a boot or anything. It's still an athletic shoe. It's still comfortable. It's still stylish, but weather repellent. So you can go in the rain. You can go in the snow. You're not gonna get wet. It's not going to get all muddy. It's made out of natural materials, so it doesn't have a big carbon footprint. It has low environmental impact, and so you can wear this, keep your feet warm without messing up the environment, and you can do it all for an affordable price and still be stylish at allbirds.com. That's ALLBIRDS.com. Keep your feet cozy, keep them dry with the Allbirds Wool Dasher Mizzles. Discover your perfect pair at allbirds.com today.
Hey, KFC crew and Jackie. So I got a question for you. I'm watching John Wick right now, and I'm at the part where the Russian dad was like, I saw him kill 3 men in a bar with a fucking pencil. And I'm like, that'd be a dope thing to watch, right? So I was Googling like prequels. It got me thinking of prequels. They're making a John Wick prequel, which is going to be awesome. But what are some movies or TV shows that you guys would like to see a prequel of? Like they're just doing House of Dragon, so like I don't know, Sopranos or like The Matrix or something like that.
Well,
like,
The
what would you like to
Sopranos
see them make?
bombed, right? That was what that movie was.
Yeah, many
Yeah.
TV show.
Totally
Yeah.
fucking stunk, as I heard. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I
but
didn't
that
see it
was-
either. But
That almost makes me. I mean, I don't know it, but it's like someone should do that right.
I mean, bro, you had Gandolfini's kid. How much brighter can you do it?
I know.
Gandolfini's kid played
Well-
young Gandolfini.
Well, I mean, maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's not doing it right. Maybe they should have got a good actor. You know what I mean?
I think he
James
is.
Gandolfini. I know, but James Gandolfini's like a classic actor.
Yeah, which I actually never knew that
Yeah,
until
no,
he
he's-
died.
Yeah, he's
and then I was
got
like,
a lot of good roles.
So I haven't seen much of his stuff. I've actually seen so much of The Sopranos that I've basically seen The Sopranos now. But I really haven't seen much of I hear the movie with him and Julia Louis-Dreyfus is fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it funny?
Yeah, it's like a comedy, like a dramedy kind of deal.
Have you
he's
seen
great
the
in
one
True
with him and Tom Hardy?
Oh, the drop's fire. Yeah,
the drop's great.
Yeah, the drop is dope.
Does he always play sort of the same thing though, or no?
I don't know. I don't know many of his roles. Like I said, I didn't know he was like a big time actor until
that kind of shit. Yeah.
But it's supposed to be very funny. That one, I forget what it's called.
Oh,
but
you know what I would like to see? I mean, this is kind of a cop out answer because it's very similar. Is the Bob Odenkirk movie where he's like John Wick?
Oh,
the prequel to like show,
the prequel of that one
to
I
show
see.
him.
Yeah, that's a good
like
one.
when he was this badass assassin and stuff like that.
That's a good idea. This is an impossible fucking question. Fast and Furious, obviously.
It's not enough.
I guess they've never gone backwards.
See
right?
Dom Toretto in high school. In the most recent one,
I think that will happen.
In the most recent one, there are a lot of flashbacks.
I think that's gonna happen because of this right here. I think that management group or directors or whatever you call those, like the people who make those movies are so smart about like giving the fans what they want. I think if this clip gets enough like traction, they'd be like, all right, we'll do it.
Do you think they're just listening to us at this point and they're just like, what's John going to say? They're just getting free marketing advice
I mean, the
from you.
space thing was like, all right, we'll take him to space.
Yeah.
And I think there might be dinosaurs in one eventually.
Fuck, what was I just going to say? They are doing, it's not a prequel, but it's like a Tej offshoot, I think, on Paramount Plus. There's going to be a show.
What did you say?
Tej.
What's that?
It's Ludacris's character.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like an industry term. Like they're doing it in a Tej offshoot.
No.
What the fuck is that, a Tej offshoot? Okay, yeah.
They're doing like he's going to have a series,
Congrats
I think.
to Luda. He's had a great life.
Bro, fucking.
When he did Versus, like I always thought, like I like Luda. He's got some hits. He is like a classic, all-time rapper. Like he has amazing hits. He was just kind of like fun and lighthearted instead of being like I'm a gangster who will murder you.
Right.
I never dealt drugs or all that shit. He was just like,
bro, I got
cool guy.
hoes,
bangs, man,
bangs,
and all his
dude.
music videos are funny and shit. He's great. I've always said I wanted my thing instead of Better Call Saul was I wanted.
This is
Mike
one of your
Ehrmantraut.
best ideas ever.
Call the show No Half Measures and Mike Ehrmantraut's story of a cop in Philly going from cop to like dirty cop to, cartel bodyguard.
Bro, do you know
type
I
thing.
never finished Better Call Saul?
I think you made it like to the finale.
I think 3 episodes left.
That's
it's like
fucking
I
funny.
treated Better Call Saul the way I treated college.
Yeah, you did.
I'm about there, but I think I'm done.
Dude, that doesn't say everything about the show, man. College and Better Call Saul, just not for me, man.
It's just not.
I gave it a really honest try,
bro. I spent I think 56 hours.
Here's the question: did you spend more time in college or watching Better Call Saul?
Going to class?
Yeah.
Better Call Saul.
Right.
In college, I was more
Still,
in college.
yeah,
but going to class? Yeah, no, definitely Better Call Saul. By a long shot, bro. I just said I spent 56 hours. Like, bro, that's a degree.
Good, man, that's funny. Yeah, those would probably be my ones. I mean, prequels are funny. They get sometimes they get a bad rap, and it's like leave it as is. But I'm like, always try it.
I
Who knows?
completely disagree with that. I think that people who
I think it sucks
it
when
doesn't ruin it. That still
Right.
stands alone. Like,
Right.
bro, like Caddyshack 2, I hear is like one of the worst movies of all time.
Nobody cares. Like,
Doesn't fucking matter.
Right.
And Caddyshack 1 is great. So who cares?
all those Indiana Jones ones with Shia LaBeouf and
keep
Kristen
making them.
Skulls.
That's why.
Who cares?
That's why I'm a fast boy.
But if they hit, they hit, and they don't, they don't.
Right.
No big deal. You know.
No, I'll tell you straight up. The last 2 Fast and Furious has been a little so-so. Make 10 more. I don't fucking care.
Yeah. I think if you're I think in music you should stop.
You think so?
Well,
I don't think I agree with that either because I think
you might just hit.
I think what happens is you come out the other side and you're like a different person then.
Well, I also say this from the point of view of rap. I think of rap like sports, and I think when you're done with sports, you should hang it up. Do you agree with that?
When you're done with sports, you should hang it up.
You think you should just like play till you're like 50 and have like shitty seasons and like?
Well, Kevin, I'm a Tom Brady fan, so yeah. I think
But he's
you should
not
play.
shitty.
Yeah, I know. He says. When I suck, I'll retire.
He says when I suck, I'll retire. That's
Yeah.
what, so you agree with that? Like if Tom Brady played when he was like kind of like Favre or
But even Favre, dude, didn't Favre make the NFC Championship his last year?
I don't know if it was his last. He went back to the Vikings and they were like 14-2 at that point, right?
I think that was his last year.
And even Peyton like won one. But remember when Peyton was like really done at the
Yeah,
end?
you could see the ducks.
And I think he did.
But Peyton always threw ducks.
Yeah, I think he retired pretty quickly after that. But in rap and sports, I think there's a little bit of like legacy talk where it's like, just don't give him that last couple years or those last few albums. Like Eminem is like a punchline to these kids.
Yeah,
That's
right.
crazy to me.
That is crazy,
because he
yeah.
put out but he's making like he's going like triple platinum still.
Right.
But it's like, man, it's funny. He has a song where he says, and when your run is over, just admit when it's at its end. Like, just go, and he's kind of not really doing that. But I guess if you're talking about album sales, he's like, my run is not over.
No.
But he's
See,
talking
I'm
about,
also-
in that song, It's Till I Collapse, he's talking about his legacy. He's like talking about who the best rappers ever are. And he's like, I'm at the end of my wits with half the shit that gets in. So when your run is over, just admit when it's at its end and retire. And he's not. So it's like, well, because I think going out on top in certain cases. But if you're like, I don't know,
think
Rolling
music-
Stones or whoever, like, just
I think
keep
music's so different because, like, I for some reason, the first artist that would come to mind was Jason Isbell, and like he did Drive By Truckers, which was fucking dope, and then he got sober, and
Now
like
it's a
now
whole
it's a whole different thing.
Right,
like,
right. That's like a second career, second act. Almost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like that happens more in country music. Like guys get sober.
Yeah,
basically,
oh, yeah.
like every country star gets sober.
yeah. And now it's time to do it this way.
Right, and then you do it. Like, it's a completely new style of music.
I love what Hugh Jackman's doing. I love that.
What's
like,
that?
Being Wolverine again
Oh,
for Deadpool.
yeah,
like
yeah.
that's just like two guys who are like, let's get the people they want. It'll be awesome, I love that. Like I love that more than Daniel Craig being like, I fucking hate James Bond. I'm not doing this anymore. It's like, fuck it, let's go.
Wait, what did you say?
130 million?
40?
No, he made like $100 million. For that.
$100 million?
I'm pretty sure it was like $130 million to be James Bond again. I'm not kidding. I think it was
Dude,
nuts.
What?
I think it was like a triple digit. I might have made this up, but Daniel.
That's
Craig.
crazy town. But also, I fucking love Daniel Craig, so I don't say anything bad about him.
I really think it was like he needed like a big number.
He was offered $150 for 2 more bonds.
For 2. Okay, so it was 2. But still, that's 75 each. That's crazy, right?
Such cake. That's such cake, dude.
How long did they take to shoot those? Like a month or two? Like,
Dude, if you actually read his interviews, like he hated
Crazy.
Bond. He hated being Bond.
That's why they needed that much money.
And it like if you read the interviews with him, where he's like, dude, I would show up on set and they just didn't have a script.
oh, that's
So,
insane.
like-
Okay, that's why.
Yeah, like
Because
it
I was like,
like
it's not. I don't mean disrespect, but it's not like Dom Toretto. Like James Bond is like
an icon.
a literature.
Right.
It was books. It was like, yeah. You're not being like some like summer blockbuster joke. Like, there's no reason to hate James Bond.
hang on a
Take it
second.
But like that's different. If like the actual filming of it sucks.
It was
It's like,
he's like I'd show up. I think he said Skyfall was the only one where there was like a set script, and he's like, that's the best one.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Turns out there's a fucking recipe for making a movie,
Right.
and have a script is really step one.
Yeah. When is Knives Out 2 coming? Soon?
Soon, December, I think. It's
Oh,
gonna do
dope.
1
Awesome.
week. They're gonna do 1 week in like 600 theaters. And then, by the way, I was underwhelmed by the trailer. Knives Out is like one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah,
I
me too.
fucking love Knives
those.
Out.
I love all those kind of movies, like those.
Did you ever watch that one, the Confess Fletch?
No, I didn't. But
That's
I
a
gotta
fun
watch
whodunit.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
I
fun-
like whodunits.
a fun whodunit
I watched,
is the move.
I watched his other one, Agatha. Yeah. I watched not Death on the Orient Express, the other one.
I know what you mean.
Death on the Nile.
Death on the Nile.
Death on the Nile. You're
That
thinking Murder on
I-
the Orient. Yeah.
I don't usually like. I just sit down and watch a movie, and I don't try to be like, all right, I'm gonna look for like the twist or whatever. I'm gonna look for the moment. I saw the exact moment where the trick happened, like the end where it's like it was actually this person.
Yeah. You
I
saw it
saw it
happen.
in real time, and I was like, that was not good enough because I caught it, and I don't come into it catching. I was like, oh, the way that person did that thing, I don't want to give it away, but it was like, You're gonna. He was out there. She was out there. You know, and so that was a little
Chekhov's
too
gunned it?
sloppy. Yeah, it was not even that. It was just like, oh, it was one of those things where it's like if you don't see the dead body, they're not dead, sort of thing. It was like, so that kind of ruined it. But I love those. You ever see the original Clue? It's great.
No,
in
yeah.
the '80s with
Which version?
With fucking what's
which
his name,
version?
right? With
There's
fucking
the guy from Home Alone 2 was in it.
Home Alone 2. Also, was it Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Yeah. I forget
his
his name.
It's fun.
Fuck. What's his goddamn name?
And they're so like, I guess the word is campy. They're like over dramatic on purpose and over the top and shit like that.
Well, you know the thing about that movie, they released on the DVD version, there's 3 different endings.
Begins with a T.
Or VHS. So, like, people would talk about it and be like, it's crazy he did it. And
no, he didn't.
It's like, no, yeah. People were arguing about it. It was awesome.
Cool.
Very
Wait,
cool thing
Knives
they
Out
did.
is called The Glass Onion?
That's the 2, yeah.
What does that mean?
Don't know.
That sounds like something you put in your ass or something. Like, go to Adam and Eve, get a glass onion.
Tim Curry. Tim Curry.
Tim
No, that's what I'm
Curry,
talking
there
about.
it is.
He's in Home Alone 2.
Yeah.
No, we're all
I
talking
didn't-
the same person.
okay,
Yeah.
got it. All right. You got any prequels?
I would love to see Entourage 7 years later, 8 years later, probably.
That gets depressing fast, brother. That's a lot of cocaine addictions and alcohol.
Oh, you know what I would like? Happy Gilmore when he was a hockey player.
Oh!
That would be fun.
Fucking great answer,
right? Watch
bro.
him get hurt or flame out.
Well, but
whatever
also
did.
he was never a hockey player.
Was that whenever he was
He
trying?
sucked.
Yeah,
he was not. He kept going to tryouts,
But, like,
he
he-
was not good.
So then
So his high school years.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like that's just Goon then.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Goon, that's a fucking
Yeah,
great movie.
yeah.
Hey, you can just watch John Feidelberg's high school highlights.
Next
Maybe
up,
Moneyball too.
Dude, Moneyball came to mind for me as well.
Yeah.
I don't
Wait,
know
that's like a true
why.
story,
Yeah,
so you
it's
can't
like,
really
it
Doesn't
doesn't
work.
It doesn't
Yeah.
make any. It's so weird.
Just
that
Billy
they came to
Bean
both
sucking
our
at
ones.
baseball.
And like that was Moneyball was like one of the first things I thought of.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make any sense.
It's just Billy Bean being bad in AAA.
All right, so I'm not gonna lie. I have called KFC years ago with the same question, and it's never got posted. But
Good sell.
yeah, first time, long time.
No, you're not.
So,
Second time, long time.
Years ago, I was dating this girl, semi-serious, whatever. We were living together, and she had left for work for a couple of hours or whatnot, and I had went to Starbucks with this side piece, and when she came back from work, I was napping, and she woke me up, and she was like, "Hey, you went to Starbucks, you didn't ask me if I wanted anything," joking. And I was like, "Yeah, nah, I just went and, like, got a coffee or whatever, and I came right home, fell asleep." She was like, "Oh, like, you went by yourself?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Oh, you just got a coffee? Like, you weren't hungry or nothing?" I was like, "No, I just got a coffee." And she takes the tag off my coffee, and it was, like, item 1 out of 3, and ended up calling me out, and I had no answer for that. So my question being is, I guess, what type of sticky situation, particularly in a relationship, have you found yourselves in, which is no answer? Like, you just know you're fucked.
I don't know, Kevin.
You're a listener of the show, huh? Not exactly a long time listener. First time, not so long time. You said you're first time, long time. It was your second time calling, and you're clearly not a long time listener. But that's a new one. Starbucks barista sticker is. I haven't heard that one. That is.
It's
dirty.
also just a crazy move to just fucking go to
Go on a
Starbucks
quick date
like
with your side piece and then come home.
Bro, side pieces, you fucking that's it. Like,
that might be like we went to Starbucks. She like sucked my dick in the parking lot in the car. Like she sucked my dick in the car. We went and got Starbucks afterwards, sort of thing.
that
is tough.
That would make more sense, but that's
that's.
But also, I think that is, and obviously it's a little different in your situation. But like, if it's a girlfriend, you're like, yeah, you got me.
Yeah, like so are we breaking up? Like, okay, what are we doing here? You know,
I don't know what to tell you. You're right. I'm wrong.
rights.
We're done here.
Yeah. Did I think I talked about this with you guys? I don't know if I said it on the air. The Alexa. Did I talk about that on the podcast?
It's ringing a bell.
There was a guy who.
Yes, he had the
TikTok went viral of her. Like she had the log of all of his Alexa requests, and there's a girl being like, "Turn volume up, turn volume down." They live together. It's like that's not me talking.
Shut your goddamn mouth. You don't tell my Alexa what to do. I tell my Alexa what to do.
Well, there's so many ways to get caught.
It is. I mean, we've
what's
talked about this ad
crazy-
nauseum. Like, we're like, there was a time There's like when my parents were younger, like my dad could have broken up with a girlfriend and then just never seen her
Never
and
heard
never
from
left
her
town.
again.
Like
Yeah.
like he could like just never see her again.
And never,
Ever.
like, probably she never called. And if she did, it was just like, I'll hang up and whatever.
How
like,
many motherfuckers I have blocked now, dude?
Yeah. and it's just, even if you don't have like a stalker ex, like, just, you don't get the clean break. You still see them on Instagram and see them on social media. Like, there's no way to just be like, I'm done with that. I'm
Right.
moving on. It's fucking crazy for, I think, everybody to go through.
It is a daunting task to break up in this.
For
in this
real, it's
era.
like better to just be like, I don't know, let's stick it out because you know, it's like we're not even broken up. Actually, I'm still hearing from you. We're still fighting. I might as well still be fucking you, you know, because we're not even clean break. I think there's something to be said for like the easier you get caught, I think the more like innocent of a person you are. Where it's like if you think to make sure you clear your Alexa log every night or something like that, you're a fucking sociopathic cheater, you know? Where if it's like, yeah, like I didn't like clear all the cookies out of my browser or something that you caught me because I was just like so fed up with this, I fucked a girl.
Yeah.
I wasn't like maniacally like, how am I gonna fucking, you know? It was just like, yeah, if you go through like the records of my phone and all these crazy, like there are so many things you can do with a phone that you don't know about. Where it's like, oh, check here for the deleted this and check over here for
I
that.
intentionally don't learn about those things.
Really?
I intentionally do not learn just so I don't think that like I don't suspect because I don't know if you've ever had someone on your phone, Kevin, it's what you think about all the time for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know. It's all you fucking think about forever. So like I intentionally try and not learn much about technology because I'll just stress about it forever.
Ever, dude. It's I mean, these are the devil. These are the fucking devil. And then you see these TikToks where a lot of girls will be like tip number 2 to catch him, like make sure you open up this folder in the phone because he'll know to delete this, but he won't do that. And they all crowdsource it. You know what I mean? It's like we need some guy.
I like when Jackie just throws out a quick laugh.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah,
"All
we
right."
do. Yeah, we do. But to me, that's almost like it's like God. I mean, I know this is generalization, and I'm sure it goes both ways, but it just feels like on a larger scale with chicks, it's like they're just always worrying about relationships. You're just like always talking about dudes and shit. You know what I mean? It's like I just wouldn't even take the time to watch a TikTok to then learn how to go through my girl's phone. I just don't care.
I think I say this on the interview with Maddy, where I'm like, I'm like, do not tell me your password.
Yeah, because I don't want to be able to get into it.
I don't want you to think that I could be into it. I'm out.
And it's usually, it should be like if you're doing that, you're probably reached a point where the relationship should be over. But even if you're just like, I'm in love with them, but I just like, I'm addicted to snooping and I do it anyway. It's just like, boy, that's a shame because you're going to find something you hate. You know, It's like, I could go my whole life.
You look at my phone, you're going to find something you hate. Doesn't matter who you are.
I could promise my whole life I won't go through your phone.
Nope.
I do not want to. Do not care. And if you are cheating, then like, I don't know. So be it, man. I don't know. Maybe I'll catch you, maybe we won't.
Right.
Maybe you'll be lucky.
Yeah. If I walk in the house and you're fucking someone, I'm going to be pretty upset. Aside from
that's
that,
about it.
You're going to be fine.
Yeah. And even then, if you just give me like a really, really, really pinky promise that you won't do it again, we'll probably be fine. Because I get it. I fucking get it. I was listening to Joe DeRosa on Sickler. And he was talking about relationships and stuff. And he was waxing poetic about how good.
Which, by the way, I'm on Sickler now. So if you want
oh yeah, right now, go listen to John on Sickler. DeRosa was talking about how much he loves Sal Vulcano, like really genuinely like nice. He almost like started tearing up. He's like talking about how good of a friend Ryan Sickler is, and he told another story about a guy. DeRosa put his car in the shop and then had to go like to LA for work or to New York from LA for work. Went out of town, and his friend called him up and was like, which like mechanic, like where did you go put your car? I'm gonna go check in on it because I think that guy's like fucking around on like your bill or whatever. And it's like, he was like, that's such a good friend thing to do. Like, look out for my
it's also
buddy's
like a
car.
really smart, like you have that kind of knowledge.
Yeah, right. And so he's going on and on about these guys, and then because his main point at the end was like, and I could never fucking live with them. Because when you invite someone to live with you, you eventually hate them. Like, no matter what.
Yep.
You hate the way they leave laundry out, or food out, or they don't clean, or or the way they sleep, or the way they blah, blah, blah. And so you have this, like, great relationship, and then you're gonna just put this intense stressor on it. For what? And I think his point was like things like monogamy and living together and all this stuff are kind of like, what's really the point of doing it, you know? Because it's like, even with, if you can't do it with your best friends, you end up being like, I want to wring your neck. Yeah. Now doing it with a girlfriend or a boyfriend you're never on a best friend level, you know? You're always on a dating level. Right. So if the best friends can't survive it, the dating's certainly not going to survive it, unless you just close your, like, pretend. You know what I mean? There's nobody who's like actually like, no, we've been living together for 20 years and everything's perfect.
And
it's like we're 20 years and we grit our teeth over the shit that we fucking hate. You know.
Dude,
so
you want to hear a funny story? Actually, I probably shouldn't tell this on the podcast, but fuck it, whatever. My parents refuse to eat in our dining room anymore because
together.
Because they eat together still, but they won't eat in the dining room because they just moved into this house, and the first 3 dinners they had, they fought at it, and they're like, we're done in the dining room.
Love it. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. That is funny, though, to be like 0 for 3.
Right.
Like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night, you're like, it happened again? You gotta be fucking kidding me.
My mom was like, yeah, we just don't use the dining room anymore.
I love that. It's like sports juju. It's like, Hank, I gotta go watch in the bathroom. Like, we can't do it anymore. So now they eat together, but just like in the TV room or something.
There's like also a dining room table, or not a dining room, I guess a
like
kitchen room
table.
Yeah. You've been there. They eat in the kitchen now rather than the dining room.
That is awesome. I love them. All right, last voicemail today is brought to you by Blue Nile. If you are in love with somebody and you do want to propose and you want to get that ring, you want to make sure that it's nice and high quality and a nice cut and a lot of carats, and you want to make sure you get a good price, and you want to make sure that it ships discreetly, and you want to make sure that it's ethically sourced diamonds, and you want to make sure that it ships in a timely manner, and that you have guarantees and all that stuff. The only place you can go get that is BlueNile.com. You can't get that from some guy in the Diamond District. You can't get it from your local jeweler. Blue Nile. It is just like every other website you order your all of your stuff in your life from, except now you're doing it for your jewelry, your diamonds, and everything in between. Make your moments sparkle with Blue Nile. Go to BlueNile.com. Use promo code Kevin. Save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more. We're talking everything from like little, fun bracelets and jewelry for like an anniversary or just like a Valentine's Day, all the way up to the engagement ring, the big one. And it's all priced significantly below traditional retailers. They'll help you with the shape, size, clarity, settings, all of it. They have jewelry experts on hand 24/7. You can talk on the phone or chat, and you'll find that memorable gift for every budget level. Go to BlueNile.com, BlueNile.com. Code Kevin. Save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more. BlueNile.com, code Kevin.
Hi, I'm your favorite mom. Sleeping baby. White noise machine going on. Shout out John. I went to the doctor for my annual checkup, and I told him I've been having a lot of anxiety, depression, being a newer mom, and just having to deal with everything professionally and personally. And his advice was to take Tums. That's all my problems. So I just wanted to see what the worst piece of advice was from a doctor that you guys may have gotten.
John, you got that.
I was gonna say, like, we both have obvious answers here.
Hey, what's mine?
No.
You and her.
Yours was the last one. Yeah. No, mine is. I thought I had herpes, and I went to the doctor, and he was like, "Dude, if you just like shower after sex, like you'll never get anything." And I believe his exact quote was, "You could swim in gonorrhea. As long as you take a shower afterwards, you're fine."
I just can't believe that's even true.
He was wearing cargo shorts.
Could you imagine you like, I have anxiety, depression. Here, chew up some chunks.
You have Tums?
Yeah. By the way, why are you the white noise guy? Why did you get that shout out?
Because when I was at my buddy's house last weekend.
Oh, yes.
I thought it was for the baby.
I listen to white noise too. Why does he get that? Yeah, that's tough. The chlamydia one's tough to beat.
Gonorrhea. You can swim in gonorrhea. Also, by the way, I still operate under the fact that is fact. So I haven't really changed much.
Medical advice.
I also have like really crooked pinkies.
Yeah.
And I guess like when I was younger, they were considering like putting like braces on them to straighten them out.
Well,
and
well, we know who didn't have that, right? It was a guy who had the same pinkies, right?
Larry Bird.
Larry Bird.
Yeah. So yeah, Larry Bird has fingers like me, which is why I didn't get my fingers fixed.
But that was your decision, or the doctor said, "Hey,
Bro,
Larry
I was
Bird."
like 9. It was my mom's decision.
But the doctor was like, "Larry Bird has these fingers, so you should leave it alone." Or
he was like, it was kind of like he just like said it with a shrug. It was like, well, Larry Bird's got fingers like that. And my mom was like, oh, Larry Bird does? He's fine.
I didn't go through with this, but when I shredded up my shoulder, I went to a doctor, and he was like, I mean, I couldn't move it. I was like, this needs surgery. I don't even need to look at the MRIs or whatever.
Oh, you don't have to look at those?
I was just saying, the decision to do it. So, but he comes back and he goes, actually, no. Like this is you can heal on your own. We're gonna put you in a sling, but you're gonna go out instead of in. So it's almost like some Rookie of the Year type, like Henry Rowengartner shit. I would have just been walking around like this, like I'm a gun out, like, see? But it would be totally immobilized and it had to be like, up against my body and then stick out, and like had this thing that connected around my waist, and I just would have been like this for like weeks and weeks and weeks. And we went to a second opinion, which was like the surgeon for the Jets or one of those stories, you know. And he was like, absolutely not. Like no fucking shot. Your entire labrum, all your tendons, all your ligaments, they are all torn. Like, no way. And he was like, I don't know who the fuck told you that, but like that guy should legit not have a job. And then also,
I did that same exact thing basically, but it was with the Florida State football surgeon, and it was like I can't drive. Like I couldn't
it was
drive.
the up movement, right?
Like, you couldn't get up.
Yeah.
To the point where like I would like fucking put my chin on the wheel. And the doctor was like, he's like, nah, you're fine, dude.
You're good, dude.
I was like,
I'm driving the car with my mouth.
I feel like I'm not.
And I also got I had 3 shoulder surgeries. The first one they went arthroscopic, and then it popped back out, and then it's like doctor gospel. I understand that like the next one you do open surgery, you fix it like right. You don't just go in with a couple vocals. And they got a second arthroscopic just because I don't know, the doctor was like, it's less invasive and we'll fix it that way. And then when I went to the third one, he was like, it's fucking like, you know, disbar type territory, or like not disbar because that's lawyers, right? But like lose your license type territory as a doctor for doing a second arthroscopic surgery for this.
Really?
And then I mean, you see my scar on this one. It looks like a fucking pussy. It's like a big gnarly scar because he was like, we got to fucking open this one up. So he was like, whoever did your second surgery, like, fuck that guy. And I'm like, yeah, fuck that guy. Fuck these people. You guys ruined my lives. I got the second doctor did arthroscopic. I got the kid who stabbed my spine with the needle. I'm like, you guys, fuck you guys, man. I'm going to go to the...
Stop fucking me up.
Yeah, I'm going to start going to the Japanese Eastern medicine guys and fucking do it that way. All right. Interview time with Maddy Smith. I cannot oversell Maddy enough. Like, she is... awesome. She will, if this is your introduction to Maddy, if you are a guy, you'll love her. If you're a girl, you'll love her. Young, old, black, white, whatever. Her sense of humor is just unparalleled. It's just like the perfect type.
She's very, very
talented comedian, and she's very funny on Wild 'N Out, like always witty, got quick bars. And so this is our first interview with her. She is great. It's brought to you by Ridge Wallet. Where is it? Did I drop it a second ago? I was playing with my wallet a second. Here it is. Here's the Ridge Wallet, as thin as can be. You got a couple cards in there. I like the black on white. I think
it does look very sharp, but Oreo style.
Do you think though this is kind of like reverse Oreo, right?
Yeah, reverse Oreo.
Do you think that white
vanilla
is,
Oreo
is
we call
a
it
chick color?
What's that?
Do you think that white is like a chick color?
Only in cars.
Right. Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Like if you have a white car, you're a chick.
Chicks are drug dealers.
Or drug dealers.
Yeah.
Is that true? I don't know. It is just so funny how chicks.
I don't know.
Chicks who have, if you have a white car, you're a baddie. Like you're probably a hot chick.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's not even just chicks. It's like you're a hot chick, and you had to make sure you had your little white like fucking RAV4 or whatever the fuck it is, right? Like a Honda Civic, and you drive with your foot up on the fucking car. Why are you laughing? You know one?
I know so many.
Yep. It is so funny. Like, they don't even consider another color. Jackie's over there like, my car's brown. Fuck. You can get a brown wallet, a white wallet, black wallet. They have like 30 different colors and styles with the carbon fiber and burnt titanium. This right here will keep your card, keep your wallet from any sort of RFID hacking. These guys can just like zap your wallet if you got one of those old school leather ones, and it can steal all the information off of your chip, off of your card, and then you get your identity stolen from a digital pickpocket. This stops you from happening.
That's happened to me. It is a lot easier than you think.
Yeah, no, I mean that sounds
Potbelly's
like,
right downstairs.
It sounds like something that's like fucking made up, but it's like it's real. It's got the money clip right here, so you just pull up the strap, and bam, you can carry your cash as well as all your cards right in there. It is as sleek and simple as possible. 6 different colors and styles in the carbon and burnt titanium. There's over 30 different other colors for the minimalistic style. So you can check out their site, ridge.com, and use promo code KFC for 10% off your order. That's ridge.com. They also have new keys. That's what it is. So there's 30 colors for the wallet. There's 6 different colors for the keychains that can help you secure anywhere from 2 to 6 keys, and it keeps it all in a compact silhouette, fold out with your keys. So get your wallet and your keys all in order at ridge.com, promo code KFC for 10% off your order. It's Maddy Smith on KFC Radio. Let's talk to her. Like, this is so different than other reality shows where you come in, you don't know the people, you vote them off, and then you never see them again. These guys have to look at each other the next fucking day.
I know.
But you kind of do that, like,
Yeah.
it's the Wild 'N Out cast over
Yeah.
and over and over again.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
maybe you roast the guest and they go home, but for the most part,
you have to
it's
look
like,
people
see
in
you
the
tomorrow
eye.
for 4 more episodes.
No, literally, that's a number one thing you learn from being on Wild 'N Out, or just doing things in a high quantity, stand up even.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have too much emotional weight over like a bad moment.
Yeah,
you have to
short
think
memory.
of yourself as a fucking athlete, like batting average. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because
Had a
like
bad outing,
you
go back
can't-
out there.
and you can't be like the next day like, do you guys think I'm bad at comedy?
Yeah.
Because you had like one bad moment.
Right.
You have to wake up and be like, hey, what's up, everyone?
Sure. Yeah.
And it trains
Well,
you to be like,
it's like-
just be like, it's a job. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
well, I was gonna
'Cause
say,
used
it's
to
like
be
any job.
emotionally attached to every time
Every
I
joke,
performed in front of someone.
Yeah.
And it would ruin my fucking
But that, I
mental
mean, it
health.
kind of makes sense. It's like,
I'm still in that stage.
Oh, yeah. I'm literally about to cry in the bathroom after this podcast. But
if you think about regular jobs, though, it's like when you fuck up your job at your desk as an accountant, poor accountants always, it's like everybody's
Right.
go-to is always like, if you were an accountant,
Right, 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 right.
you would be like, I don't know, like that sucked, but like I never cared about that spreadsheet or
right,
this
you
folder.
go home to your
So
wife
you're
and
like,
your
whatever.
dog and you black out.
Right.
And you wake
Tie 'em
do
up
it
in
the
a
next day.
chair and you look at their phone.
Tie 'em up. Look at the phone.
But
yeah.
if you think about what, like, you know, in those jobs, you would be upset if you had a presentation that you bombed. That would stick with you
Right.
like for the rest of the year. Like, oh my God,
Right.
in front of the CEO, I like choked. But that's what your job is.
So,
So you're doing a
yeah.
presentation
my
every single
version
day.
of my sets or jokes or whatever are just his spreadsheets.
Always.
So
and
you're
they
just
do it like
oh,
once or twice a year. You
literally-
do it
yeah,
like
yeah.
1,000.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
I
why
know.
if you're miserable about it, you'll never get
Oh,
through
yeah,
it.
there's no
But I also don't
sustainability.
think I could turn it off or get through it.
Really?
I don't know. I have a lot of thick skin about like just people being assholes on the internet. But if I was like, my podcast was really terrible, or even when we do our live podcast, and I'm always like very hard on ourselves. I'm like, I
Right.
don't know if that was that good, but the
Yeah.
audience seemed to like it, so whatever. But I don't know. I don't think I could just like forget about it.
Oh
It
yeah,
would
well you
always
don't
be
forget.
like,
It's always
yeah,
caked in
it's
there.
in there.
It's always caked in there. I remember
Right.
exclusively the bad memories
Mhm.
and the wonderful.
And the bad and the good compliments are like, those don't count.
I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, you're just saying that because you want to fuck me.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm your manager.
You made
Like,
things awkward,
shut
Maddie.
up, you fucking cock. You cock fucking whatever.
Compersion.
Soy man, whatever you
soy
said.
beta cuck.
I don't know. I live in Queens. I am not affiliated with any. I have no identity. I have no gender. But I don't remember what the question. I don't think there was a question.
Nope,
Yeah.
nope, we are.
Right? Great.
We are just flowing.
Sorry, I blacked out for a second.
This is just a vibe. Make sure you subscribe to KFC Radio on YouTube to get all the video content. Subscribe, comment, like, and make sure you turn on the bell notifications so you know whenever new video content drops.
I want to say something, but the video has to be faster. That's it.